Hello and welcome to Citizenera, the platform where we speak truth to power. Hello and welcome to Citizenera, the platform where we speak truth to power. Um, Hi there, I'll give it a few minutes. We are just going to try and talk about what is security votes and what does it mean. And if people can join me, I'm doing it simultaneous broadcast on both Twitter or X and as many places as possible. I need people to really answer questions. I need people to, if you want to, good afternoon and welcome. Dodo Nift, thank you very much. You're listening to Citizen AI on X. Um, the topic is what is security vote and why is it, let me just mute that music. Uh, Sorry. Okay. I don't want to play music. Stop the music. 1 second, please. There's a music that I want you to stop. Give me a minute, please. Cancel. I'm just trying to end the music. There is something. There's a music going on here. I've never used this before, so beg your pardon. I'm trying to mute it. So hopefully people will join me. Hang on. Just trying to make sure that we this is still going on. Beg your pardon if I'm not too au fait with this 100%. I'm trying to mute that music. It's very, very distracting. But nonetheless, mic is off. Okay. Hello. Can you? Mic is on. Yes. Okay. Good. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Season A, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll try and send to more people, and please do share this broadcast to as many people as possible. Um, and I'm going to try and invite as many people as I can. And I urge us all, you may watch this, we might be watching this later. We want to ask a question. We are asking a question. What is security vote? And, why is it not in the Constitution? I think we should be asking this question for many of our listeners who will listen in later on. Let me just say, let me put some other people in. Let me put in other people and make sure we add, more and more people to the discussion because we need to ask a question. Why is it that we have security vote? What is it? And why is it not in the Constitution? It's a valid question to ask because if we do not ask that question, then I'm not so sure if we really are ready to fix Nigeria. Um, um, we need to make sure that people are aware that um, we cannot continue with the way things are going and expect it to function. It is simply not working. But 1 second, I'm just trying to put a few more people in. So bear with me. Those of you who are on Facebook, you are of course watching this name the platform um, where we speak truth to power. So I'm going to add as many people as possible and as varied people as possible. Let me see if I can bring more people. Because I think one of the things that is really going on is that we are not really following and understanding what has happened. So I'm going to send that off for now. I really appreciate you joining me, Akade Odua, Akede Odua, and Dodo NFT. Thank you very much. We support you. We support your activity in trying to build a better nation, be it a Yoruba nation or Biafra or keep Nigeria going, which is but in all cases we have to have devolved nations. If Nigeria is to exist, it can only exist with devolved nations at best. A long-term view would still be for us to be independent That is my own held, strongly held view. But hey, that's just me. Now, the question I'm asking, and please do share and do subscribe to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. The question is I'm asking, and that question remains: what is security vote? I think many of our people are not aware of what security vote is. What does it mean? And what on what what basis has it got to have any impact on our lives in in Nigeria? So let us go and look at that. And good morning and welcome. And of course, I urge us all, where possible, do share this broadcast. Let us reach as many people as possible, and to try and really get get as wide a group of people as possible. I appreciate I've not sent this out to a wider audience before, but what I wanted to do is sometimes I thought about it this morning, and it came to me that we haven't really asked those questions. We haven't tried to explain to the people why, what does Yoruba, what does the security vote, what does it mean? Um, yes, we know the impacts of our life. We know the impact on our lives right now. We know that it is giving us severe problems right now. And it's making things very, very difficult for us. But many of us are not aware of how difficult it is making things. So now, let us go and look at security vote. And the question is this. It's a topic that the churches and mosques will never talk about, yet they tell citizens to pray for Nigeria. And for me, it's utter nonsense. If you're going to tell us to pray for Nigeria, and you're a church and you're a mosque, and you don't get involved in what security vote means and how it's impacting the lives of our people, then what is the essence? What is the essence of your prayers you're asking us to pray? What is this prayer you're asking us to pray? Pray for Nigeria. Pray for what? Pray for our continued enslavement in our own land? Is that what you're praying for? Are you praying for the people to remain in the dark about their future? Are you praying for the people to end up always be having begging bowl in a land where we have a land of milk and honey? That's the question we're asking. I do hope people will, of course, share the broadcast or listen to it later on. And I'm really trying to provoke a debate here and help us to really look at how we can actually begin to address the concerns that many of us have and continue to face. It's really, really important that we do so. So, beg your pardon. Now, I'm going to carry on with the broadcast. And do leave comments. Akede Odua, thank you very much. I appreciate you. You can, of course, share the broadcast to more people. It is on Twitter, X Space, and on Citizen AOI, the platform where we speak to the power, on YouTube. Now, let us go into the central part of the question. What is security vote? Well, according to what we can find and glean online on the social media, on Wikipedia, this is what they've said. And we will come and make some reference points as to where it came from. So now, online, as you're watching, you can see me. Security vote in Nigeria is a monthly allowance that is allocated to 36 states within the Federal Republic of Nigeria for the sole purpose of funding security services within such states. The monthly funds run into billions of naira and vary based on the level of security required by individual states. Although the exact figures are disputed, states such as River State, who face security threats such as pipeline destructions and kidnapping, receive one of the largest security vote funds. So now we are getting an idea of what security vote is about. Security vote has not been widely accepted by citizens, as most have claimed that such funds are being abused by state governments because how the funds are distributed is not accountable to any agency. The state governments are advised to use their discretion in ways on how to spend such funds. Now, I'm going to give you a list of the statements that they've done here, what they've given. I'm going to list each and every state, the security vote for each and every state, because I think it's important to have that to understand the context in which this discussion is being had. Please do share the broadcast. You are, of course, watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We do need your support. Help us grow the platform. If you haven't subscribed to Citizen AY on YouTube, then I suggest you go ahead and do so. So, subscribe to Citizen AY, hit notification button, and of course, give us the thumbs up. Help us grow the platform, and please share the broadcast. If you may, those of you who are on X, you may hear this broadcast and you may think, yes, this is something that is worth my other friends may want to listen to, and it's worth sharing. Please go ahead and share it. Feel free to share it, discuss it. We can play it back later on. I firmly believe, as a committed activist going for Yoruba Nation, I firmly believe that for the people to be able to join us in this struggle, they need to know that they have the power to participate in their governance. They have the power to hold those in government to account. Even as we speak, and I always start off with this. I'm going to show it. Hang on, let me just quickly do this before I forget again. Before I forget that, 1 second. Let me just get this out. There is a section I'm going to read before I proceed with the reading of the monthly allocation. There is something I want to read in the Nigerian Constitution, and I always think that is I think that is a reference point that all of us should hold. And please, if you haven't got a copy of the Nigerian Constitution right now, please, I am not saying to you to use it to think that that's the only way forward, but it is a reference point of the powers that we possess as citizens. I don't believe in that constitution per se because it is faulty and it is not workable. That's why we are in the mess that we're in. But for the people who are being impacted directly by this fraudulent constitution, they need to know what is in it. And that is why we are adamant that we enlighten our people, particularly in our local languages. I advocate for that. To see more of what I'm saying, you go to www.citizenay.org and you will see the Nigerian Constitution, both in English and in Yoruba. I'm trying to work with others to see if we can put them in other languages as well. In fact, one of the things that we can do under Section 97, we have the power as citizens, as sovereigns in our own country. In our local government area, we can tell and instruct the state House of Assembly members to have the deliberations in our language and the text in our language as well. If we have 2/3 of the people who are in the meeting to actually, pass that into law and to make it easier, that will make it easier for the community to know what they are being governed by, the law they are being governed by in their local languages. So I am 100% for that. That is why I am trying to make this. And because if you are going to change something, if you're going to change a law, if you're going to review it, you need to know what the law is about. If you don't know what it is and you don't know how it impacts you, then when they say just change something, you won't understand why. That is why I am a strong advocate for us having the constitution in our local languages. It should not even be a question. Our governance should be willing to ensure that every community gets this constitution in their local languages. If you go to Brazil, that is what they do. They make sure that they have the laws and the constitution in the language. They communicate to people in their local language. And even Yoruba is one of the languages they use in Brazil. So why we are saying to our people, to know your laws, you have to only be speaking you have to go and learn a foreign language. Is actually, is holding us back in our development collectively. We are shooting ourselves in the foot. That is what I am really, really, against. And I hope many of you who are watching this will please, share the broadcast, help us to, reach more people. Now, let us go forward. Before I go too far, that's the Yoruba version. I will read that, but I want the English version of the Nigerian Constitution. Let me see. No, you're right. Okay, yeah. So now, before I go and read the the security votes for each state, as per what you see online on the on Wikipedia, and it may be changing, it may vary, but I want you to know that as a matter of fact. So there is no law that tells us that there is no constitution that backs it. It is just something that was put in place around about 20 something. I'm not quite sure. 2014 or thereabouts. I'm not quite sure quite how it came about. The nearest I can see is I've been seeing San Clark talk about it, and I will talk about the report, the article written by senior advocate of Nigeria, Robert Clark, about security vote. We'll go into that shortly. But before I do that, let us listen to the Constitution again. As ever, please go to www.citizenay.org, download the Nigerian Constitution. You can have it, print it out, click on the link, and you can read the Constitution in both in Yoruba and in English. And we want more people, and we continue to advocate, and we urge the federal government to, as a matter of course, have the Constitution in our local languages, so that when we now come for the constitutional review, the people can play an active role in making changes to that Constitution. It is not working. End of story. It isn't. So, that said, please, I'm going to read these two sections. Section 14.2a. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this Constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That is really important point to make right there. It means that, one, you are a sovereign. Every single person, young and old, we are sovereigns. And many of us are all too often unaware of that, because we have been brainwashed with the Bible and the Quran. And that's why I say that. The Bible and the Quran programs you to believe that you are a slave, that you are not worthy, that you are you're worth nothing, you're less than anything. That you are only looking to Jesus Christ or Allah for favor, that you cannot do anything yourself, that you are not worthy, and that is wrong. Now listen to the words again. I'm going to read those words again in the context of what I just said now. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Notice it says sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria. That means all of us, young and old, man, woman, fit, strong, disabled, whatever, you have powers. And the powers that they use to govern our nation is derived from we, the people, collectively. You see that? Now, the Bible and the Quran runs counter to the message within this constitution. As flawed as this constitution is, the Bible and the Quran runs counter to that message, because the Bible wants you to believe in Jesus Christ, and the Quran wants you to believe in Allah. Now, interestingly, as we go forward, before I read the second section, interestingly, the Bible and the Quran are written in Yoruba, in Igbo, in Hausa, in many of our local languages. The question I'm asking those in power: why is it that you have made it possible for the local people to know the religions in their own language, but the laws that governs the lives of the people, you resolutely refuse to print in their local language? Does that not tell you that there is subterfuge going on in there? That is the question I'm putting to us all. Now, Section 14.2c states, the participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution. Please do share this broadcast. I urge you all. It is of immense importance. We need to reach as many people as possible. We want you all to please help us join in this discussion and leave comments and tell friends about it. Because, to be honest, frankly, what is going on now in our nation, we are being disempowered. We are being enslaved in our own land, in a land literally of milk and honey. And I kid you not, when I say those words, I literally mean what I said. And a land blessed beyond compare. Our land is blessed beyond compare. So when you now see situations where things are being done, thank you for joining me. Odua, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. You're back. Akede Odua, thank you very much for coming back. Please do share. When I now see that we are living in penury and enslaved in our own land, it is such a pity. It is such a shame that this is going on. So please, if you can, join me. If you haven't subscribed to Citizen AY on YouTube, please go to Citizen AY. Just type hashtag CITIZENAY, capital A, capital Y, and then hit return, and Citizen AY will pop up on your screen. Please subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, because it's really important, the message that we are putting out there. We want you to really be able to partake in this and to be able to help us, you know, and contribute to what is going on. Because to be honest, we need our collective efforts in making the change that will positively impact our lives collectively. That I firmly believe. There is no sense. It makes no sense for us to continue to follow stuff that is actually disempowering us, that is actually enslaving us, that is actually, making us be, be powerless in our own nation, that makes prevent us from holding those we elect into office to account. It is not That is not going to work. We need to be actively participating in what is going on, and that's what I really wanted to come and talk about this morning. So please keep a note of the broadcast as you see it. Help us share the broadcast to as many people as possible. I'm endeavoring to do as much broadcast as I can on various platforms. Subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Please do. We do urge you to do that for us. Subscribe to us. Hit the notification button. Give us give us you know hit give us a thumbs up. Give us likes, and of course you can donate to us on via PayPal, via the accounts that we have, or super chat, or stars, on the various platforms. You can subscribe to us on Facebook, and on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on X. So we are all over. We are on many places on social media. You can join us and subscribe. We really do need your support. However, it is very, very, very important that we continue with this work. And many people are not aware of what is being said here, and we're trying to raise the level of awareness within our community. Please take the time to share this broadcast. Let us reach as many people as possible. It is of immense importance. Those of you may watch it later on. That's fine. We're trying to build this. I'm hoping that we'll be able to do this spot on X on a regular basis until and build the crowd on X Spaces. I have been unwell for some time, and that's why I've not really been on my social media broadcast as regularly as I would. I'm on the mend now, thankfully, and I'm now getting back to something like I used to do before. But one of the things I wanted to remember, let's also refresh our minds on why this topic is being discussed. What is security vote, and why is it not in the Constitution? A topic that the churches and mosques will never talk about, yet they tell citizens to pray for Nigeria. And I said emphatically, nonsense. Citizen AY. Now, let us go and read. We talked about earlier on, we talked about the security vote. We still don't know how it came about, but we know that it is something that is being done. And what is critically important for all of us to understand is this security vote has no basis within the Constitution of Nigeria whatsoever. It has zero basis. And we need to really understand that going forward. And it's impacting our lives. How can a decision made that has no constitutional basis be allowed to continue to impact our lives? Our very existence, our security, our safety is impacted by this security vote that none of us voted for. There is no law that can challenge it. There is no basis upon that justify why it's been imposed on our lives. We have the right to question such a decision, as sovereigns, particularly so. Now, let us read to you the security vote, and they put it in Southeast in zones. Southeast, 4 billion annually in Imo State. Enugu, right? 7.2 billion annually. Anambra, 110 billion annually. 10 billion annually for Anambra. Imo State, Abia State, 8.4 billion. Ebonyi, for some reason, not available. We'll have to go and find out. South, 6 billion annually. Rivers, 18 billion annually. Akwa Ibom, 21.6 billion annually. Edo State, 10.8 billion annually. Delta State, 24 billion annually. Bayelsa State, again, no record. Incredible. Lagos, it says here 14, I think it is 17.149 annually. Ondo State, 7.2 billion annually. Osun State, 4.8 billion annually. Ogun State, 1.2 billion annually. Ekiti State, 1.2 billion annually. Ogun State, 1.2 billion. Ekiti, 1.2 billion. Oyo State, I think they mean 1.2 billion annually. There is no way it will be 12 billion, but I don't know. That's the figure we have there. I do have concerns about that, and we need to get further clarifications on that. Now, Borno State, 9.67 billion annually. Yobe State, 3.8 billion annually. Taraba State, 2.4 billion annually. Bauchi, 17.4 billion annually. Northwest and Kano. Kano has got annually 4.8 billion annually. Katsina, 211 million annually. Zamfara, 7.2 billion annually. North Central, Benue State has got 37.1 billion annually. You can see that a lot of funds is going towards this this money, and one has to question how things have been allowed to go this way. And there's nothing that is backed by any laws within our constitution. It's incredible. This is daylight robbery that is going on here. Niger State, 15.7 billion annually. Plateau State, 2.6 billion annually. Kogi State, 4.8 billion annually. Nasarawa, 1.2 billion annually. Kwara State, no records available. Anyway, it is important to read those things, and I want you to understand that there is no basis. It just says, let me read to you what it says about the security vote so that we understand what has been done here. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. How do you do that? Let us quickly run through that with you once again. Subscribe to Citizen AY, hit the notification button, and of course, give us the thumbs up. Help us reach more people. Nigeria is not working. Let us not kid ourselves. I know the current government is trying to make one or two changes, but I think we need to start off with that. That constitutional review is a must, and we need to participate in it. And we need to make sure that those things, that is why we have to advocate for strongly that the constitution be in our local languages. And that would actually benefit our economy in the long run when every information that we want is in our language. We can start trading with our own language. People who want to do any business with us will have to learn our language. And that alone can generate income because we can send out teachers, the cultural aspect. So many things can flow from using our language as the main source of communication for those who come to our shores. Very, very important point that is being made there. I'm sure you agree with me. Now, let us now go and read as we speak on the security vote. The security vote again, President Tinubu has approved 50 billion for 5 northern states on the 26th of January. So let's read that. Vice President President Kashim Shettima says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the Pulaku Initiative, a non-kinetic solution to deal with insurgency and banditry in the north, and has equally allocated a sum of 50 billion to the initiative in its first instance. Pulaku is a Fulani word that loosely means to be shy. The Vice President had, in July 2023, during the condolence visit to the government of Kano State over the death of elder statesman Abubakar Galadianchi, disclosed that the Pulaku Initiative will be unveiled in a couple of weeks, noting that using military alone will not end the crisis in the northwest region of the country. Speaking during his opening address at the 2-day roundtable insecurity in northern Nigeria, organized by the coalition of northern groups with the theme multidimensional approach to tackling insecurity in northern Nigeria, Shettima, who was also represented by Chief of Staff Ibrahim Hadija, said the now approved initiative would begin in 5 states of the north, namely Sokoto, Kebbi, Katsina, Benue, Zamfara, Niger, and Kaduna states, and would catalyze the fortunes of the northern region. Anyway, not too sure what that means, to be honest. every part of this country is equal to the rest, and the government treats the needs of each region as critical. For the North, we are also embarking on a transformative journey to address the root causes of challenges. But the Polaco Initiative, a non-kinetic solution, has received presidential approval with an allocation of 50 billion in the first instance. The initiative aim is to enhance living conditions and livelihoods in the selected states, starting with Sokoto, Kebbi, Katsina, Benue, Zamfara, and Niger and Kaduna. The construction of residences, roads, schools, and other essential facilities is set to promise comments promising to catalyze the fortunes of this region. Shetima noted that the government was committed to addressing insecurity in the nation, having allocated the larger share of the 2024 budget to insecurity, while stating that Nigerians must focus on building stronger systems and stop narratives that divide the country. Well, anyway, those are his statements. I'm just reading out what is being said here. I hope this makes a lot of sense to you, why we're reading it. Now, we talked about the security vote, and this is the reason why I'm actually talking about that. 1 second, what's that? Okay. Okay. Let me just, sorry, I'm just checking something here. So now let's go and read San Henry Clark. Is it not? Is it Clark? Let me just read. We're going to read that to you in its full. Robert Clark, sorry. So now, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Robert Clark, wrote in 2016, he wrote, "No law supporting security vote in Nigeria." Robert Clark, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. And he's right. That's what I went to look for. I went to look for, is there any law supporting security vote? There is no law. So on the first instance, when they tell us that we're a democracy, how can you be using powers that it has not got constitutional basis to govern a nation? That is undemocratic right there. Right there, that is undemocratic. And that is the problem. So let us go and look at this in a bit more detail. Now, so he wrote here, Chief Robert Clark, a senior advocate, is a lawyer who does not hide his feelings whenever there is a legal issue generating controversies. He is at it again on the argument surrounding the widely discussed security votes. He said pointedly that there is no law, however small, that sanctions the payment of security votes to state governors as well as the president. He therefore called on Nigeria to rise against what he called impunity in the system. Excerpts. Your recent campaign was for the abrogation of the security votes enjoyed by state governors and the president because, according to you, it lacks backing. What is the reason behind your argument? So this is the case against security vote that's being well put by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Robert Clark. Now let's go and read that in a bit more detail. I still maintain my stand that the question of security vote has no basis in law. When you look at the history of security vote in Nigeria, you will not find anywhere in the 1999 Constitution that allows security vote to be enjoyed by anybody. However, you need to look at the history of the nation to see how security vote crept into the governance of the country. So when we are being governed by laws that do not exist within the Constitution, that simply means that corruption is rife. No two ways about it. Even the current government has awarded 5 billion for security votes, something that is not backed by any constitutional basis whatsoever. None. And that's the reality of it. That's what they found on ground, obviously. But they are in governance now. We strongly urge the government to put a halt to that, actually. They need to actually explain why is it that they're using laws that cannot be found in the Constitution that they created to actually govern. They are governing outside with the scope of the current 1999 Constitution. And when they do that, it's like they are hiding their hand where the funds are going. The larger proportion of the funds for security votes is being spent by laws that are outside the scope of the Constitution. And that is a major problem right there. I agree with Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Robert Clark, on that issue strongly. Now, when military were in power, they needed security votes because they came by way of coups. At any time, they can be removed by another coup. So they needed at every given time to know what is happening around them. So they sought from the military authorities the right to have special allocation to enable them use this as a source of security for information against coup plotters. Now we can see the basis upon which security vote came about. For me, if we say we're a democracy, then security vote has no role to play in a democracy. But it is still in existence right now as I speak to you. Look at this. President Tinubu has actually approved 50 billion security vote. That is an undemocratic process. The security vote is a military instrument. What is it doing in a democratic dispensation? That's a question we have every right to ask. Now, let's go back to the argument being put forward by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Robert Clark. Let's proceed. Okay, so now, allocation for security. When the 1999 Constitution came to interpretation, it did not make any provisions for security vote. I am bound by the Constitution if you can find it anywhere there. There may be provision for the upkeep of the presidency or the governor's house, but you will never find a special amount of money that has been allocated for security. So, this is a very important information. Let me highlight that here. I want you to highlight that. I want to highlight this one for you to read and follow yourself. I'm highlighting it, and I want to make sure that we all read it and understand. It is very, very, very important that all of us understand that we have been lied to by those in governance, and we have the right to do something. There is something we can do about it, but the question is, do we feel brave enough to take that on? And we have no other choice right now because we are being impoverished by those in governance. More and more of the nation's money is going to security votes that has no constitutional basis whatsoever. That is alarming. We should be asking questions. Give me a minute, please. Give me 1 second. There's something I can see here. Quite bugging. 1 second, please. Okay, 1 second. Give me a minute, please. Okay, I'll do this, and then I'll get that next time. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to check. There's kind of a fly that's distracting me here, and I'm trying to deal with it, but I will deal with it later. Okay, now. So, when the 1999 Constitution came into operation, it did not make any provision for security vote. There is nowhere in the 1999 Constitution that talks about security vote. That I can guarantee you. I've done the checks. Please, as you're watching, do endeavor to subscribe to Citizen AY. Hit notification button. Give us thumbs up. Help us grow the platform. I will be doing more and more. We will do on the fly interviews as much as we can when we get things, information and any opportunity. I had the opportunity to interview the organizing national secretary of Afenifere Worldwide. It was an impromptu interview, and they went okay, but I must admit, I just sort of did it on the fly, and we will do further interviews with him, where you can actually, we will do a proper sit down again in the coming days and months, and I will endeavor to rearrange that to bring a much better quality video, because that was sort of on the fly quickly, and I was trying to get the information out there and get it out. But but I'm sure you can glean some things from that. But nonetheless, let's go back to the main topic here. When the 1999 Constitution came into operation, it did not make any provision for security vote. I am bound by the Constitution, and if you can find it anywhere, there may be provision anywhere there. There may be provision for the upkeep of the presidency or the governor's house, but you will never find that a special amount of money has been allocated for security. Precisely. And that is the point that has been made here. So now, we must, as citizens, as a matter of urgency, begin to question the basis upon which the security vote is being awarded. And this is what I'm saying. Those in government don't want you to know these facts. And that is why we are checking these facts the basis upon which this security vote is taking place. When funds are being sucked out of the budget of the nation using laws or instruments that is not bound by the constitution, that is a fraud. That is a fraud. That is something we must call out. Now, what can be appropriated is what is needed for the upkeep of the presidency or the state government house. This will involve upkeep of the executive, his family, the domestic staff, feeding for public, etc. Therefore, the security vote for the past 70 years have been used by these governors without appropriation, which by law is illegal. You see, for the past 17 years, and longer, 24 years now, they've been carrying out an illegality. And we are the sovereigns. We must call out this illegality. We must call out this illegality. That is what we are trying to say. I hope that makes sense. Sorry about this. Let me just check something. I hope you can see me. Yeah, you can hear me. They've been carrying out, and yeah, you can hear me. Okay. So I was just checking that it wasn't turned. So you can see that it is an illegal act. The security vote is illegal because it is not backed by the constitution. But this is what I'm saying. The pastors in the what is Pastor Oyedepo doing? So what does he have to say over security vote? Let us go and look. I'm going to try and do some things. Any comment by? Let's just look at the comment by Pastor Oyedepo. Oyedepo. Let me see. Let me just see. We want to, because I think we need to look at this thing, in the rounds. Let us look at this now. Let us see. Let me see. I want to see if they have anything. Let me see. Did you say anything? No, you didn't say anything there on security vote. No, nothing else. He's not mentioned anything there. The reason I'm just doing this, I'm trying to just check to make sure. Sorry about this. Wow, sorry. Give me a second. Make that smaller and then go back there. Sorry about that. It's me. I was just. Okay, good. We're back again. Sorry. Okay, so now you can see that it is an illegality. You see that? The security vote for the past 17 years, 24 years now, have been used by the governors without appropriation, which by law is illegal. And I'm going to show you one. And Wike wants to use the same law. Look at this. And this is why we need to talk about this. This is why we need to talk about this. Let's talk about this. Wike, Wike has said, listen to this. Give me power to spend security votes like governors. Wike lobbies lawmakers. When they do this, this is not based in law, in the constitution. There is no law backing any of this kind of spend. There is no law in the constitution that gives them the power to use to actually get funds for security votes. They are going to because they are not explaining where the funds is being spent. And there is something we can do as citizens. We can demand that they give us accountability of where they spend the funds. Because why? Again, I bring this point up again. I want to bring this up because sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through its constitution, derives all its powers and authority. You are a sovereign. You can and indeed must ask questions of those in government. You have the right to hold them to account. It is very, very important that we do so. What is going on here is sheer fraud. How anybody can say that our government is a democracy in the face of this blatant fraud, where security vote, that is a military instrument for coups, is still being allowed to be used in a democratic dispensation, it's beyond me. Because the actions of security vote undermines the process of democracy. It undermines it. And that is the reality that we have not faced. So 1 second. 1 second, please. I'll get that done. Give me a minute. Oh, I saw something, but I'll get it sorted. I do apologize. I just had to get something quickly, but it's not allowing me to do it. Sorry, anyway, never mind. Sorry, let me just check that again. Give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. Because it's bugging me. I cannot. Just give me 1 second, please. 1 second. Yeah, hello. Sorry about that. I just had to deal with that for a few minutes. I hope it's gone now. It's just been distracting to have a flight just going all the time. Um, now, so in the face of, let me see if I can make this smaller. I want you to see why this is so concerning, why we should all be outraged. All of us should be rightly so outraged by what is being going on. There is no basis upon which Nyesom Wiki or any of the governors have a right to be using security vote. Indeed, security vote is a way to hide their misdeeds, to hide the blatant corruption that they've been, partaking in. And it is something where we should not entertain nor accept. I hope people are seeing this, and I do hope that many people will join us. I'm going to try and see if I can get some experts in to come and talk about this even more. But this is a big concern, a really seriously big concern. So let us look at this again. So you can see now, um, give me power to spend security votes like governors. You've heard what Robert Clark said. There is no constitutional basis upon which security vote should even allow to operate. And that is the problem that we face. Please give us a thumbs up, hit like button, share this broadcast. You are, of course, watching Citizens Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. And I do want you all to, hello, Yoruba Nation now. Welcome on board. We are talking about security vote. What is security? Hello, yes, welcome on board, Thank you. I appreciate you. Yes, hello there. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear. 1 second. Give me, can you hear me? Hello? I can hear you. 1 second. Let me just switch this off. Maybe you can hear me. 1 second. Let me unmute you. Oh, hang on. Hello, sorry about that. Can you hear me? Hello. Sorry about this. I've been talking for long. I do apologize. Can you hear me? Yes, hello. Yoruba Nation now. Can you hear me? Sorry about that. I didn't realize my button was muted on the X space. Yes. Can you hear me now? 1 minute. Okay, let me just get something done. 1 second. 1 second. I'll get this off. Ooh. Disconnect. Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I do apologize. Okay. I've had some problem with the X space, so I may bring it to an end. I understand that now. I think I'm going to bring the X spaces to an end because it's not worked properly. So I'm going to switch that off. I'll come back to it. Yes, end. I'll come back to it and we'll come back and do another one again on there. I'll repost what I've done on here on X space later. I think it's best I do that. So I'm going to retry and do it. I don't know what happened there. We'll try and come back in again. Let me try and go back in again. So let's try again. 1 minute, please. I'm just trying to make this work. So I don't know what's happened there. We're going to try it again. Sorry about that. Citizen AY. Let me just make sure I get this right. Then we'll try again. Yeah, we'll try again. We're just gonna keep giving it a try because we want to make sure people follow what we're doing. I mean, we have the records here, so let's do it again. Let's do it again. So we're gonna try that again. I don't know what happened there. Sometimes you do it and it's not quite there. So let me do that again. Start now. Okay, Yoruba Nation now. Okay. 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 Can you hear me now? I hope anyway. Anybody coming in, you should be able to hear me now. There's been an issue with the mic, so I do apologize. I didn't realize. But anyway, so we're back. So anybody who wants to join us, if you wish to join us, you can of course join us. Let me try and add more people, guests. Let me see, listeners, speakers. Okay, invite speakers. So I'm going to invite Yoruba Nation now because I think we need to air things, and I do apologize that the broadcast was not doing what I wanted it to do earlier. So I've done that now, and hopefully they will be able to join me. So we will let's carry on. Let's carry on. Okay. So now we were on the issue of the security vote. So Nyesom Wike says here, the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, has asked for the House of Representatives to grant him the power of arbitrarily spend funds under the controversial security vote scheme. Mr. Wike, whilst appearing before the House Committee on FCT Monday, on Monday, to defend the 1.1 trillion budget of his ministry, said he needs the security vote to tackle insecurity currently ravaging the Nigerian capital. The security vote is a controversial and corruption-ridden scheme often used by state governors to spend money arbitrarily without any form of transparency. Exactly. Anti-corruption advocates have long argued that the security vote has become a conduit for siphoning funds. You see what I'm saying? This backs exactly the statement made by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Robert Henry Clark. Let us go and look at that statement again. The security vote for the past 17 years have been used by these governors without appropriation, which is by law, which by law is illegal. So you can see what he's talking about there. So he's absolutely right. Now, as a governor, my director of SSS can meet me and say, we need to carry out operation on this night. We need 30 trillion naira to carry out that operation. I don't need to meet the accountant. All I need to say is go and take the money there. Mr. Wike told lawmakers. Can you imagine? Mr. Wike, who earned the reputation of being a hardliner during his tenure as governor of Rivers State, lamented the bureaucratic hurdles of his hurdles he has contended with as Minister of FCT. Now, you remember, let me go and show you the security vote for Rivers. Let's go and look at the security vote for Rivers. Remember, Rivers State, 18 billion annually. One of the largest. Now I can understand. So he was the governor for Rivers State and he was receiving security vote of 18 billion annually where he did not need to account for to anybody. Can you see that? Can you see what is going on? I hope you can see that. So let me just do something here. I'll quickly do this. Share. Okay, let me copy here and do this. Yeah, my line is a bit off, like you said. So let me just go here. Okay, let me just do this again. So, let me see. Discussion on security votes. Okay, I think you've joined me. I think you're in now. Fantastic. Oh, Shegun Ayil, welcome on board. Shegun, welcome on board. I appreciate you. We are talking about security votes, and these are one of the major concerns that we have that we need our people to really join us in the discussion and speak up against the fraud that we call Nigeria, because they're using laws that are outside the tenets of the Constitution to ask us to commit to and indeed support something that is clearly illegal. The security vote is something that should not work. Akede Odua, sorry, I do apologize for the break earlier on. It just wasn't working. I didn't realize that it wasn't. But nonetheless, we're back now. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Now, what we're talking about is we're talking about the hello, hi, hello, my sister, hello, Yoruba Nation now. Hello. Do apologize. I didn't realize there was a problem with the mic on this end. So I was talking away, but I have it on both YouTube and I'm on simultaneously on X. So so the topic that we're talking about is people don't often understand what is security vote. People just hear the word security vote, security vote. So I decided to do a program about that, and I did some digging, and I found out that in the process of the doing the review and checking and everything else and investigating it, I found out that the security vote has no constitutional basis whatsoever. It has zero constitutional basis. It is not in our constitution. It's one of the relics of the military era, where because they were using coups, the anytime there was a coup took place, the each of the governors of the states at the time were given security vote, something called security vote, to keep to keep their sort of coup going, as it were, until the next person takes over, and then they will get the security vote. So is Nigeria proposing to have to implement security vote into the INEC system? No, 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 no. I'm talking about no, I'm talking about actually. They're not proposing to do that. They are doing it. They're actually carrying out using. You see, there's a fund called Security Vote. I don't know. Have you heard about that before? No, this is my first of hearing about it. Ah, okay. Now let me explain that. There is back in before the 1999 constitution was drawn up, the military were taking over. One will come in and the next one will take over. You know, you had the Muritala coup, then the other coup, the Buhari coup, and all of that, coup after coup, all of that. Now, what they started doing is they started giving themselves what is called security vote. That allowed them to run their administration. You know, and they would take funds from the main budget without asking approval from the people and just use it as they pleased. Oh my goodness. Now, when the 1999 constitution came about, they did everything in the everything. It did not include this security vote. That stood outside of the constitution, but they kept using the word security vote to appropriate funds under the guise of security that they did not, but they were not required to explain what those funds were for, because it wasn't part of the constitution. And subsequent governments have continued to award huge amounts of money on something called security vote. That is absolutely crazy. It is insane. Billions upon billions of naira have been used by state governors, and they have not explained in any single document where those funds have gone. And we, of course, we know that they've not spent it on security, because the state of Nigeria, with all those billions upon billions annually that they were getting, that money has gone to the pockets of the governors. That much is clear. I'll give you, for example, let me give you a breakdown for the states now in the southeast. Since the time, and they've been doing this since before the democracy, we got democracy in 1999. Imo State was getting and is getting 4 billion annually on security votes that they don't explain to anybody. Enugu State is getting 7.2 billion annually. The governors, that they don't explain to anybody. Anambra, 10 billion. Abia State, 8.4 billion. We don't have the records for Ebonyi. Cross River, 6 billion. These are annual figures, 6 billion naira. River State, 18 billion. And they don't have to explain it to anybody. And then Akwa Ibom, 21.6 billion annually, every year. Edo State, 10.8 billion. Delta State, 24 billion. Lagos State, 17.149 billion. Ondo State, 7.2 billion. Ogun State, 960 million to 1.2 billion. Ekiti, 1.2 billion. Oyo State, I believe it is 1.2 billion annually as well. It says 12 billion, but I doubt that. I think it's 1.2, but it's crazy. Borno State, 9.675 billion. Yobe State, 3.8 billion. Taraba, 2.4 billion. Bauchi, 17 billion. Kaduna is getting how much again? Let me just check Kaduna one. I want to make sure I get that right. 1 second. Kaduna is getting 4.8 billion. Katsina is getting 211 million. Zamfara, 7.2 billion. And then Niger State, 15.7 billion. Plateau, 2.6 billion. Kogi, 4.8 billion. Nasarawa, 1.2 billion. These are figures that they do not explain. They don't have to explain to anybody.
But isn't this part of the padding that they do?
It is. No. That's even separate. The padding, that's another side of it. There's a budget that they put in. This falls outside their budget. This falls outside the budget. They don't have to explain it to anybody. They just call it security vote, and they suck the funds from the central fund, and they don't explain it because it is not in the constitution. Now the budget is within the constitution, and they have to give us an outline. They should really be giving us big breakdown, but it is a kind of a padding. You're right, it is a kind of a padding again. But the problem is, even now as I speak, Nyesom Wike, the federal capital territory governor, now wants to be given a security vote as well. He now wants security vote as well. And that is totally unacceptable. Because those funds, and Robert Clark said, I don't know, you know Robert Clark, the man called Robert Clark, senior advocate of Nigeria. He said, when the 1999 Constitution came into operation, it did not make any provision for security vote. I am bound by the Constitution. If you can find it anywhere, there may be provision for upkeep of the presidency or the governor's house, but you will never find that a special amount of money has been allocated for security. What can be appropriated is needed for the upkeep of the presidency or the state house, state government house. This will involve upkeep of the executive, his family, domestic staff, feeding for public etc. Therefore, security vote for the past 17 years, and this was written back in 2016, I think it is. I think it was 2016. Yeah, 2016, December 2016. Therefore, security vote for the past 17 years used by these governors without appropriation, which by law is illegal. So what I am saying is that the actual security vote, where they don't explain to anybody anything, is illegal. And here is the cases.
Citizen A.
Yes.
The thing is, we can complain about all these things.
Yeah.
These are a bunch of thieves.
Yes.
Vagabonds and scoundrels.
It is. They are.
They don't care. You could say it till you're blue in the face. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't.
And the reason why they don't care is, let us be honest with ourselves. Nigeria is a no man's land.
Yeah, it is. It is a free for all. The governors are creaming. They are creaming the money in left, right, and center.
And then we have the ethnic strife.
Yeah.
And the only reason the ethnic strife is there is because none of these African countries want to let go of their identity.
Yeah.
Why should they?
Yeah.
But they form a common bond inside that space.
In that caucus, whereby they can.
Because it's free for all. Everyone wants to steal each other's wealth.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
what's happening is, not that I want to deviate from the
No, 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 no.
topic.
No.
When there is an election,
Mm-hmm.
there's no election. It's war.
Yeah.
Because each one is fighting for the survival of his own race.
Indeed. 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 Indeed.
When they're putting in all these security votes, padding of the budget,
Mm-hmm.
it's about sharing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But sharing amongst a few from each of these ethnic nations.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed. I mean.
The thing is, once we can realize what the problem is,
Mm-hmm.
and we know what the problem is,
Mm-hmm.
the thing is now to proffer an absolute solution.
Exactly.
That we can get out of this mess.
Exactly. Exactly. Now.
We know that security votes, that the security vote budget that they're putting in,
Yes.
is part of the padding.
It is. It
It
very
is
much is.
padding.
Yeah. It is. It is.
What is going to happen? Are they going to stop? The answer is no.
No, they won't stop. No, they won't stop.
We can find out something else that is inside that constitution, or even find out something that is inside the yearly budget, or
Yeah.
that they announce in the National Assembly.
Yeah.
Are they going to stop? The answer is no.
No.
Now, for those that are saying, oh, our problem is leadership. No, the problem is not leadership.
No.
The problem is that we have been forced into this horrible reunion.
Yes. Yeah. Horrible union.
And
Yes.
because of the greed of some of these national ethnic personalities.
Yes.
They are so greedy, and the greed has turned them into an absolute nuisance.
Yeah.
That they don't care about the rest.
No, they don't.
The collective within each of the ethnic nations. So what's happening now? We have both the Igbos, both the Yorubas, both those that are from the South, those that are from the Fulani race, and the Hausas.
Yes.
They're all in there taking their piece of the pie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it does not belong to anybody.
No.
The thing is, what's happening? The danger is, as they're stealing,
Mm-hmm.
they are stealing to make themselves poor.
Yeah, exactly.
Stealing, they are also poor as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mentally, spiritually, and everything. That's why they're stealing.
Indeed. Indeed.
The
There's
most dangerous of it all is the more you maintain that space, the more you, as an African, are destroying your own identity.
Exactly.
The God-given identity that God has given each one of us.
Yeah.
It is not by choice that
No.
God gave us Africans different
No.
languages.
No. It's not by accident.
It is by His divine will. So which man that God created is going to destroy that? I want to see. And that is why there will never be peace. There will be continuous stealing and pilfering within that confined geographical space. Because it wasn't created to belong to anyone. It was created for the trading of the state, the English state.
Yeah, indeed.
That is long gone and dead. Imperialism.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It is.
Because even within England itself is also becoming a very multinational and diverse society.
Exactly.
So why are we Africans holding on to that wicked imperialism creation?
One of the only thing I can say about that is this: unless we understand how this thing was put together, and that is what I'm trying to do here, and I mean by right down to the communities, we will not be able to empower ourselves to break from it. Some people are so afraid because of this, because of the psychological conditioning that we've gone through via this enslavement and colonialism combined, that they only view the world through those two prisms. Yeah. And what we need to do is to empower those who are in the communities to actually see beyond those two prisms and begin to look at things and say, actually, we have the power to make the change. This is where I'm saying, when I talk about referring to the Constitution, It's not because I believe in the Constitution. No. It's because I believe that there are certain powers that we need to encourage our power people to use to dislodge this bunch of crooks in power. But it would require active participation. Every community must play a role. So this, for example, now the government keeps saying, "Oh, there's insecurity," but just like I just showed you now, from the security vote I just showed you now, the billions going in there, there is no excuse for insecurity in Nigeria. End of story. Because they've got literally billions. They are getting billions upon billions upon billions of naira every year. In fact, what is going on now is that the security votes is being targeted by groups that are working for the government and saying, okay, fine, just say, to make it unstable in this area, we will get more money. So they go and engineer instability, and this is what is happening a lot in the north. Oh, it's not happening. There's instability. Okay, give them money. As I speak to you, they forced Tinubu this year to give 50 billion to security votes to 5 states in the north. 50 billion for security votes to 5 states in the north. So if we do not address this issue and we do not get the people to start questioning the governors, every state, all of the local government areas, we need the people to start questioning the governors. Governor, you say our state is insecure. Oh, where we know you got this money. We got X amount of money, 18 billion in the case of Rivers, 18 billion annually. What have you done with that money? Unless we get the people to get to that point that they question, they call town hall meetings and begin to question those in power, I'm afraid even to break free, we cannot even break free. Because it requires our active participation at the grassroots level. That is what is going to be required. If we just leave it to a few people to solve, it will never change. So that is where I bring in the need to. That's why I advocate strongly that we start putting pressure on the government to have this constitution in our local languages, so the people know what they are being governed by. The fact that majority out of 200 million people, barely 10 million can speak English, and they don't even understand. Some of them don't even understand what the laws that they're being governed by. That is a major stumbling block. And they pump this. For example, I said it before. They are quite happy. The government is very quick for you to have your religious books in your local language. They are quick for you to have that. But the laws that you are governed by, the government is doing everything it can to prevent you from having those laws in your local language, so that you could question this security vote now. Like I said, it has no basis in the Constitution. What is it doing in there? Why is it in there? The people can demand that we can put the people together and say, look, you tell the government from here on, you cannot use any laws to disperse funds of this nation that does not exist within the Constitution. But it requires active collective participation of the people in that process. If we don't get that, these people in power will continue, and they will continue to oppress, and they'll continue to kill. So and maim and exploit. That is the problem that I think we face. Like I said now, Tinubu, I'm going to read you the place. On the 26th of January, Tinubu approved 50 billion security votes for 5 northern states. On the say-so of his vice president, Shetima. Shetima says they are coming up with the Pulaki initiative to be shy. What is to be shy? You are continuing to use a security vote that is an illegal instrument that forms no part of the Constitution. It forms zero part. Good afternoon, AAA. Welcome on board. Ashego Ayilara. Please, if you do want to come in and make a comment, we welcome your comments and discuss in this discussion, because it is for all of us. The major problem we face, to even get Yoruba nation, I'm telling you, we need to participate in the governance. If we do not participate in governance, to get Yoruba nation will be impossible. We have already tried to carry out the referendum with the Onitiri referendum, and we know what happened with that. The referendum itself was not really, it had some holes, but even that is not recognized by the governance in place. So for it to be recognized by the governance, our people have to participate in our governance. And then the people will now demand for the referendum. Once the people demand for the referendum, they can now control those in government. Those in government now, they are telling the people that because they voted for them, they are now, they've done their duty as citizens to vote in their government. That is not the case. Our role is to participate in the governance. Section 14.2 states, the participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. That means that the minute you start questioning your government, when you are questioning your government, you are participating in your government and you are demanding answers, and you're not leaving until they provide the answers. That is what we mean. So welcome on board again, a listener. I hope I welcome you, Akobi. If you do want to listen in, do share. But because we need to find a consensus of opinion of how to dislodge this colonial system that has been imposed on us, that is now self-perpetuating. And that is the problem. The colonial system that we have now, that has been imposed on us, is self-perpetuating. And to have a system where a governor can take 18 billion naira a year and not explain or tell us categorically where those funds has been spent for security, and provide evidence to back it up of where those funds have been spent, it means that the nation is open to corruption by those in power. Do you want to? I'd like you to, let me invite you to speak, and I'll invite Akobi to speak as well. If you do want to speak, that's those of you who are on X, you are welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, you are of course watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Those of you who are on YouTube, please don't forget, subscribe to us on YouTube, hit the notification button, and of course, give us a thumbs up. Help us grow the platform. We truly appreciate your support. You are of course listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. What we are trying to do here is to provide solutions, that to come up with solutions together with everybody else, that our people can begin to take and actualize on ground within their community, empowering our people to hold their governance to account and to participate in their governance through questioning the government on the funds that they received on behalf of the very same people that they are refusing to serve. That's the point of this discussion this afternoon. I hope you find it engaging. You're welcome. And please do leave comments. If you do not want to talk, those of you who are on X, we welcome your comments. Share the broadcast. Let it reach more people. Let us, because we cannot be silent in the face of this this corruption. This is a daylight robbery going on. For the deputy prime minister, the deputy president, the vice president, to say, oh, they're going to come up with a to be shy Pulaku initiative. What is to be shy? So non-kinetic initiative. That's not about that. What should be happening? Where are the funds? The question we should be asking, and we have a right to ask under Section 14.2a as citizens. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. We are in a so-called good afternoon. We are in a so-called democratic dispensation. So we must, at this point, we have no other choice than to participate in the process of government now, and make sure that the security vote that is a relic from the military era must be gotten rid of from our process of governance with immediate effect. But that will only happen when each and every state every local government area begins to question everybody that is in requested. Okay, let me, Gasky, go ahead. Let me ask you. Hang on, let me just do. Oh, sorry, 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Gasky, you requested. I'm going to let you speak. Add speaker. Okay. So, Gosky, welcome on board. I'm adding you. So, until we get the people to collectively begin to participate in this process, whereby we question our governors, we question them, we get them to give answers to questions we rightfully have the right as sovereigns to question them or to ask, i.e., what are you doing with those security votes? Secondly, when we are drafting the Constitution, it must be expressly written in the Constitution that no law that exists outside the Constitution will be used shall be allowed to be used to govern in Nigeria, either by the president or anybody. Because this law, the security vote, exists outside of the remit of the Constitution. It exists outside of the boundary of the Constitution that we are governed by. And that has been a problem that many of us have not addressed. Of course, Robert Clark, senior advocate of Nigeria, and I believe San Femi Falana have touched on this issue and many others. But the security vote is a fundamental flaw. For as long as we have this security vote in place, we are not a democracy. We are more or less like we are a unitary system of governance. But the people's voice matters. When the people start talking, those in government cannot ignore it. And that's why this program here is designed to encourage us to reach into our communities, to make them know that they have the power to question the governors about those security votes now. That is the problem that we faced, you know. And that is the real problem that we're facing, and we need people to actually join us in that struggle to really, you know, begin to to hold those we elect into office to account, and we can do it. And I say so. Please, Gosky okay, Gosky 1. I'll follow you back. I'm following you now. You're welcome to make a comment. Let me add. I'll add others. I'm going to follow AAA. Okay, and I'm going to. Oh yeah, I thought I'd follow Akobi. So I'm following you guys because it's easier for us to really. Please do. We welcome you to contribute to this discussion. As we speak right now, Nyesom Wike wants to be given the powers of security vote, but security vote is not even a power. It's crazy. You know, security vote is not something that is in the Constitution. It is something that has been used illegally to siphon the money meant to build our roads, our water, our light, our schools, our bridges, our healthcare, even the security. When they say security vote, I don't know how those people, those governors sleep at night. I honestly don't know how those governors who have received the money in the states I'm about to mention. I'll mention all the states for you and the amount. Let's start again from Southeast. Let's start from Southeast. Southeast, 4.4 billion for Imo State annually, security vote. Enugu, 7.2 billion annually. Anambra State, 10 billion annually. All of this is for security vote. Abia, 8.4 billion annually. Ebonyi, no record available. Cross River State, 6 billion annually. River State, 18 billion annually. Akwa Ibom, 21.6 billion annually. Edo State, 10.8 billion annually. Delta State, 24 billion. Delta State, 24 billion annually. 24 billion on security, and no explanation, no one single explanation by the governors. No wonder they want to go there. No one single explanation. Now, Lagos State, 17.149 billion annually. These are all annual figures. Ondo State, 7.2 billion annually. Osun State, 4.8 billion annually. Ogun State, 1.2 billion annually. Ekiti, 1.2 billion annually. I believe Oyo State, it says 12 billion, but I'm suspecting it might be 1.2 billion annually. I'm not sure. I can't confirm it. But these are questions. Again, Borno State, 9.675 billion annually. Yobe State, 3.8 billion annually. Taraba, 2.4 billion annually. Bauchi, 17 billion in Bauchi State annually. 17 billion with no explanation. Guys, I don't know how you see this, but this is alarming. This is seriously alarming. I welcome comments from you all. I'm going to give everybody, I'd like to invite you to speak if you're watching me. I don't want to be the one talking here. In the face of what I am explaining and revealing to you here, do you not think that the power of our people in the communities to know this fact and to be able to say now, we are calling town hall meetings for each and every governor to explain to us the breakdown of those figures on security votes? And they must not walk away from that. If we don't do that, nothing is going to change. I don't know how you see it. I welcome your comments. If you do want to talk, just put your hands up and please contribute. Ademoji, Ade, I'm going to add other people as well. I'm going to add, if you're coming in, Ade, let me just check you. I'm following you as well. Ade Omojola, yes, welcome on board. So, look, I'm going to read you two more. Kano State, we haven't got the figures for Kano State. We got for Kaduna. For Kaduna, for example, they are getting 4 point, if I'm correct, let me just check. They are getting 4.8 billion annually. Security vote. Katsina, 211 million annually. Zamfara, 7.2 billion annually. These are astonishing figures, and they have no Kogi. Benue State, 37.1 billion annually. 37.1 billion for security votes annually in Benue State. Niger State, 15.7 billion annually. Plateau State, 2.6 billion annually. Kogi, 4.8 billion annually. Nasarawa, 1.2 billion. We haven't got records for Kwara State. The point I am making here is this. The people can no longer be silent, because the governors are meant to be accountable to the people they promise to serve, which are the sovereigns. If you're in a constituency, you're a sovereign. You have the power to question the governor. And not only the governor, everybody. Okay, Gasky, please go ahead. I'll stop for a minute. Go ahead, please. Contribute. Let's hear from you.
Okay, thank you very much for allowing me to speak. I saw your what you wrote here. What is security vote and why is it not in the constitution?
That's correct.
And I've listened to what you are saying. I took my time to listen if I even requested for the mic. If I even listened.
Good.
From the very moment I entered this particular space, you have been dropping banger upon banger. And what you are saying makes absolute sense. The summary of this thing is accountability.
Yes.
Holding these people accountable. But let me give you this insight.
Yes, please.
These guys, they have designed the constitution. They have designed the government in such a way that you cannot reach them. Remember, the only way for you to reach these guys is by suing them judiciary through a force.
Nah, even that can't work, Seth. All now money.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. They control the police. Is it the same country that if you disrespect the government, by next month caterpillar will come to your compound?
Yeah.
And give you notice that this is the government, you are not supposed to build so house.
And they will destroy it.
And they will start destroying you. And these are what people are scared of. It's not that they don't see this. It's not that they don't know this. But how are we going to go about it? How are we going to go about it? Everything you have listed there is correct. We are supposed to ask these questions. And this is just the few of many that we should be asking. I think the other
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct?
30-something billion.
Yes. That is the. Am I correct? Is the figure correct? If I'm
I'm not too sure about that, but it won't surprise me. Do you know they?
the Senate president said they gave each state.
You mean Goodwill Akpabio?
Akpabio, of course.
Okay, let me check that.
Some governors.
Okay.
Some governors. Just be checking that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Some governors immediately spoke out that they didn't receive any money. Then after a few days, he now said it was a wrong statement that.
Yeah. He had to withdraw it. Yeah.
Yes, but that simply means that. So calculate that something billion into that something state. That means someone has actually tampered with such amount of money. Because you cannot just wake up and say that you gave so people. Look at the one that is going up now. That the 500 million.
Yes.
1 billion.
Yeah.
They are the one that they shared. Nobody has gone to prison.
No.
Nobody has gone to court.
No.
Nothing. That's how they just be there.
Yeah.
And these guys actually designed this thing in such a way that you cannot reach them. You cannot get to them. Because if you talk the following day, where you have a shop in the market, if you go there, they have locked your shop, that you are always amount of that. If you are doing a business,
yeah,
they will just come and price something, and there is the countries that you can actually interview a senator.
Yeah.
How many times have they interviewed a governor in Nigeria?
No way.
A neutral interview, like
No.
not a prepared speech.
No, they don't want that.
How many times have they interviewed a president? How many times have they interviewed a senator? How many times have they interviewed a local government chairman? You cannot the journalists can't even reach these guys. Come on the presidential debates before election. They won't come. Presidential debate that you want to become the president, they will invite you and you won't show up. So they are made in such a way that you cannot get to them. If you go to court will look at this our is it Nnamdi Kanu or what? Says I mean they will not leave you there, you just be wasting. You bring a case to court, they will not leave you, they will not declare, they will not judge the statement, they will not judge the case, they will just leave you there. And you'll be wasting, you'll be spending money. Them they have a lot of money. They will take your land here. The senator will take your land and ask you to go to court. You stay there in court 10 years, you are still in court. And you are wasting money. So the problem is not that we don't know these things. We know that these people are tampering with money. These people are taking us money from the government. But how do we go about this? How do we address this one? Because they control the police, they control the force, and they control the judiciary. So how are we going to? How do we do about this? Because I know a lot of people. I know a lot of guys that have given up on this country. I know a lot of people that have given they have given up. Look at what you are saying now. 10 billion for security.
Yes.
For security. Meanwhile,
yes.
Kidnapping or whatever.
It's rife. It's rife. But
this amount is enough to start your own state police.
Yes.
I'm be paying them. You start to pay them. We have been here lamenting that Nigeria needs its own state police. Meanwhile, this that you have said now simply means that they have actually provided funds.
Yes.
For that.
They have funds.
For you if you want to do it. Because
yes.
These are funds that are supposed to be.
Yes.
For you to give someone 8 billion for security for the security of the state, he's like telling the person, okay, run your own security.
Yeah.
Pay them.
Indeed.
Rely on Nigerian police.
Absolutely.
That doesn't care. They're collecting 10 naira.
Yes.
Fortify your own security. Fortify them.
Yes.
Organize these guys. Fortify them. They know the bushes in your community. They know all those places.
Yes.
They know these places. And all these things will not be happening.
Yeah. It is.
They'll say no. It's quite unfortunate that we find ourselves in this situation. Because these guys, they know what to do.
They do.
They always.
It's their pocket. They are only looking after their own pocket.
They have already seen this thing years. Years ago, they have seen this thing. They have designed this thing in
Okay, how do you, okay, what slim chance, do you have any idea or anything that we can put forward? Yoruba Nation, you speak next. Do you have any idea, my brother, what can be done to really arrest this situation? Because we cannot allow this to carry on. My brother,
First thing first is how to educate. First thing first is how to educate people and enlighten people about this.
that's it. That's it.
That's the first. Like this opening of space. Like I didn't know about this thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about this. Now I know it now.
Yes.
And I'll see you make some certain research.
Please do.
About this thing. How to you talk to people. People need to know about this.
They do.
Go to our school. Go to our primary and secondary school curriculum. They
Yes.
don't teach.
They don't.
They don't. We're supposed to know this. They're supposed to be teaching them these things in their government, but they'll just give you notes.
Exactly.
Rubbish notes.
Exactly.
Mohammed,
Yes.
how Bello, how Alisiki, all those rubbish. They'll just give you those things.
Mm-hmm.
These are what they are supposed to be teaching those guys.
Indeed.
From primary school.
Indeed.
But they don't know market women. They don't know this.
No.
So we have to start from sensitization.
Fantastic.
Into people.
Yeah.
At least that's the first step.
Okay. I appreciate your comment, my brother. Please do. Let's keep in touch. I've added you. I'm following you. I value your comments very, very much. So you talk about sensitization. Sensitization is something we should do on this platform. We are on that road somewhat. We try, and that's why you see, if you go to Season AY on YouTube, as I'm talking to you right now, I've got the constitution put on there. Section 14.2a. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives its powers and authority. Is on the screen. It talks about the participation, 14.2c. The participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. We need to make this aware to every community in their own local language, because that way we can empower our people to begin to take action themselves. So I'm really grateful for your very salient and valuable comments. Sensitization is a very, very powerful word, and thank you so much for that. As Yoruba Nation now, please, let's go ahead. Come on in. Let's hear from you. Thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Koski has said. Mm-hmm. You know, I sort of made the same point.
You did. Earlier. Yes.
Yeah. These are not normal people.
No.
You know, in fact, they're actually victims of the system itself.
They are. They don't realize it, and that's a sad thing. They don't realize it.
They don't realize that they are also victims of that system.
Indeed.
Because remember when Nigeria was set up,
yeah,
the foundation already is very bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was set up on a corrupt system.
Absolutely.
It was set up to suppress the people that own the land,
mm-hmm.
in order for them to actually take, and that system has now been passed on to those that inherited the geographical space called Nigeria.
Exactly.
Look, let me use an example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a piece of land.
Yeah.
And I liken it to Nigeria. There's a piece of land
mm-hmm.
that somebody comes. You know, you have people come onto that land. There's nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they meet people that whatever. You have a piece of land. There's
mm-hmm.
nobody there.
Indeed.
But there's different people that come on there from different spaces.
Yeah.
Now, since they came on at different times, who owns the land?
Well, the people who own the land are the people who were there originally.
They came on, but who owns it? There's nobody there, but who owns that land?
Yeah.
Like, for example, let me say myself and you, I go onto this land.
Yeah.
I meet no one there. You go on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you meet me there, and maybe then other people come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And who owns the land?
Well, the first person who was there is the people who were there.
Let's just say we arrived at the first person that got to that place.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Let's even say that we all arrived at the same. We all arrived on that land at the same time. There's no man's land.
It's no man's land.
That's exactly what's happening.
That's I can see what you're saying in terms of how things have been drawn up. But it's well established that as Africans, for example, Yoruba people, we've been on this in Yoruba land for at least 13,000 years minimum. In fact, 130,000. So
Yoruba land is our land. We know our borders.
Exactly.
But this is the geographical space.
Yes, that was created.
Somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah.
Nobody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when you're now going to share, how are you going to share the national wealth of that? It's not going you and each one of us are from different space, but you
Yeah.
want your share, I want my share,
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants their share.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
There's no
it's
rules or regulations because in the first place we're not speaking the same language,
yeah.
we're not eating the same food, we're not
Mm-hmm.
wearing the same clothes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and the only common language that we have that is not if that we have inherited
Mm-hmm.
is not even ours.
Yeah, it is. That's it.
And
Yeah.
that language itself that we inherited is now going to be a destroying factor to us because the more we speak it, the more you're
Exactly.
losing your own original
Exactly.
language.
Exactly.
And the more you're even losing your own identity.
Exactly. You're hitting some really important points here, and one of the things that
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Further on, can I make a very, very important
Please, please.
important point?
Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
Since nobody owns the land,
Mm-hmm.
we're not speaking the same language, we're not wearing the same clothes, we're not eating the same food.
Mm-hmm.
How are you now going to enact laws that there will be equity for everybody?
Mm. Mm.
It's an impossible task,
Yeah.
and there are many.
Yes.
Everyone is fighting. There are even nations in there that we don't even know.
Yeah.
That are not even coming out to say that then because they're so small.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that doesn't mean that they don't have their own identity.
Yes,
but
of course.
You cannot put people of different beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
people of different cultures. You can't put them in one space and say,
no.
oh, okay, they should not put in security votes.
Yeah.
They should not pad in some bits and pieces in the so-called fake constitution.
Yeah.
They should not steal because in the first place, that space doesn't belong to anyone. It's
No.
everybody for themselves.
Yeah.
So I hear what you're saying about, we have to start participating. But believe this, the people that you're going in to get rid of, they they have already put in the laws in there to justify their stealing.
But
how are you that they know that you're going to go in there to change what they're going to do? How are you going to get in there? Knowing fully well that even before you get in,
yeah.
there are certain horrible things that you have to do to get into that space.
Yeah.
To become a governor, to become a legislative rep.
Yes.
The nasty things that you have to get involved in. Why do you want to now defile yourself? Even though you want to go in for a good cause. So I would suggest it is better that we educate ourselves. We get more people onto this. You see this X space?
Yes, exactly.
It is fantastic.
It is.
I know it might be a struggle for those that are inside Nigeria to come on,
yes.
but for those that can come on, let us get as many of us on here as possible.
Yes.
And begin to educate ourselves. When we get ourselves on here, then we can now start to divide ourselves to do the groundwork.
Yeah,
educate
good point.
Those that do not know.
Very good point.
If we're on here, we're informing people. We can now form our own individual groups on ground.
Exactly.
And then start to educate each one of those that are on ground. That look, this is what is happening. Like for example, what you're doing about converting
the Nigerian constitution into languages.
Into the various languages.
Yes.
It's fantastic. Why would you have a constitution in a foreign man's language? Why are you not having the constitution in Yoruba?
Exactly.
Why are you not having the constitution in the language of the South?
Exactly.
Why are you not having the constitution in the Fulani language or the Hausa or the Igbo
Exactly.
language?
Exactly.
No, they do it. And if you see the level of the English that they are even using, even the Englishman is not using that level of English.
It's designed to put you off.
Confusion and destruction.
Yes. It's designed that way. No, you're absolutely right, my sister. Thank you so very much. And everything you said there is right. We need to use spaces like this, and I hope we will all continue to do so. I had to take a backseat due to health issues, but thankfully I'm on the mend. So I'm going to be more vocal on X Spaces and, of course, on YouTube as well.
Can I just mention, the
yes.
ones that I really feel sorry for, that is really breaking my heart, is the youth.
Yes.
From the ages of primary school.
Yes.
To the ages of 18
yes.
to 35.
Yes.
Most of them they cannot identify
No, no.
Isn't that sad?
That is one more reason why we need those our languages to be, the forms of communication in all manner, even in our governance. In all manner, it has to be. It has to be the priority right now.
And the sad thing is, it's not only in Nigeria; it's across the whole of the African continent.
That's correct. It is
they
designed.
Are killing our original identity, our indigenous identities.
Yeah.
This colonialism is
but
killing it.
but it will.
By God's grace,
it will fail.
We will get it back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my sister. Goski, I see your hands up. Go ahead and say something, and allow others to speak as well. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Well, I raised up my hand because I saw that no other person was raising up.
Yeah.
But honestly, if I was close to Yoruba Nation, I would have given her a bottle of beer. Or if there's anything she likes, I would have bought it for her. Because she just
hit the nail on the head. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's just like saying that everyone should cater for themselves now. Which is actually what you are saying here.
Yes.
This security votes and all that.
Yes.
Look at your own, start from the grassroots.
Yes.
This point that you raised now, the constitution, you wrote the constitution. Even I am a graduate of microbiology, for me to read that constitution, I need a dictionary close to me.
Yeah.
They just know what they did there, and they just cram the few section blah 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 that they use and intimidating you and be suppressing you. They just cram all those sections. You go to police station, that's what you'll be hearing.
Yeah.
Or when they beat you, that section blah blah, that's what they will tell you.
Yeah.
But the average market woman or market man or just someone you just see in the street have never seen the constitutional book. He has never seen it. So this is something that you should be teaching these guys.
No.
From primary, you should be teaching them and interpreting these things for them so that they know what the constitution is about.
Indeed.
In television, there is no program. There's no station in the TV or the television. Sunrise TV, blah blah. Maybe they'll just bring out a day on Thursdays is to read the constitution and interpret. They don't want you guys. They don't want us to.
They don't want to know. They want to keep you in the dark, and that is why doing programs like I'm doing here, translating. I mean, I have a website where I put the constitution on www.citizenay.org. On there, you see the constitution in Yoruba and in English, and you can pick the one you want. And I want others to do the same thing. I want Igbo people to do that. In fact, what would be best is if we can put pressure on the government to translate the constitution to our local languages, so the people will know what we are being governed by. But they don't want that. Exactly. They want to keep us all in the dark, and we need to resist that. And it starts in our communities, like you're saying. It starts with us engaging the communities on the grassroots, like Yoruba Nation now said. We need that active participation. We cannot look. We have to sleep. We can no longer just sleep with both our eyes shut now in that nation. Nobody is able to sleep because we've ignored and allowed these people to carry billions upon billions of naira, and they are oppressing us in our land. So the only option we have now is us engaging our people at the grassroots, making them know that they have the power to hold these people to account, even though they believe they haven't. Because once they start doing that, these people will start panicking. Because how many, if a whole village gets up and say, you have to tell us, how many of them are they going to kill? If the whole state say, okay, we're not moving, you have to answer this question. How many go kill? You know? How many people soldier go kill? Oh, how many people soldier go kill? How many people police go kill? Oh, how many people go? Then go kill us, yeah. Hey, then go kill us, yeah. And so it be. We have to. I'm not saying advocating for unrest, please. People don't misunderstand me. What I'm saying is that we need to psychologically wake our people up from the sleep. We've been put to sleep. And the key word you said, Goski, that I really like. You said they use they put the language that they put in, and Sister Buki and Yoruba Nation said the same thing as well. Said, they use such language that you will not, that even an Englishman on the street will not understand. That is what they put in the constitution to throw us off. It is our job to break that down for our people. The best way we can do it is to engage in this process in our local languages, because that is the best way we can communicate with our people. And I need us all. Honestly, this is not just about just a 1 minute talk. This is something we have to be doing on a daily basis within our community. I welcome those of you who are just joining us. If you do want to talk, just indicate, and I'm happy to bring you on board. I'm happy for you to contribute as well to the discussions, because this is about all of us. This is not one job that anybody can do on their own. I'll come back to you later on. I'll come back. So it's not a job that anybody can do on their own. We need active and consistent participation in this process. We need to educate our people from the ground up. It is clear that the government is using all its manner powers to suppress, to subdue, to silence, to co-opt us into our own oppression. And the best way we can combat this is when we join together and band together and begin to actively ensure that we empower the very people that they're trying to disempower. We cannot, you see, our silence is taken as agreement to this misrule. Our silence is taken as agreement, as supporting this misrule. We can no longer be silent, is what I'm saying. You and I, however small, and don't for 1 minute think that your actions are meaningless. It means something. If you can reach those of you who are abroad, even at home, if you can communicate with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 people yourself within your community, make them know what the laws mean. Encourage them that we need to stand together to hold these people to account. If you can begin to do that on a consistent basis, suddenly you will find out that the 2-year-old, the 3-year-old, the 4-year-old will start communicating that information that you passed out, and you'd have forgotten. They will suddenly come back and start saying it among the community and start spreading the word about our rights, and start talking about, no, the security vote is not something that should be in it's not part of our constitution, we should reject it. And people can speak up, and we call the chair, the governors, the state house of assembly members, the house of reps, call them to account, demand that they provide a breakdown of the costs of what they spent the security vote on, because it is public funds. It is public funds that they must account for. They cannot walk away from. It is about changing our mindset. And I want to say something. Isn't it interesting? On this security vote, I don't think I have had Pastor Yerepo or Daddy Gio or Imam or anybody speak up about this security vote. I've not once had any of them talk about security vote, with the billions upon billions, like I just read out, that is being taken by this set of governors and siphoned away. Money meant to build our roads, money meant to provide safety and security. Go ahead, Gusky, my brother. Go ahead. Let's hear from you.
Well, there's something that you said that touched me. You talked about unity. We must unite for us to tackle this thing. That's number one. We just Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Efi, whatever you are. Forget elect, because these people they actually benefit from this
of course they do. Seriously. Yeah.
That's where they benefit most from.
Yeah.
Some of us will stay here fighting each other. Vote for this, you not vote for this, vote for. They will just be laughing at us.
Yeah.
They will just be laughing at us.
Yeah.
When they get to the House of Assembly, they will be sharing money and we'll be here fighting each other.
Yes, they are laughing.
So we need, in as much as there are a good number of people, there are a very high number of people, especially in our eastern part of Nigeria.
Yes.
Nigeria.
Yes.
You see them clamoring for Biafra, but it's still because of this issue.
Of course.
They cannot even reach the person. I cannot reach the person that is claiming to be my king, that is claiming to be my governor, that is claiming to be my senator, that is claiming to be my House of Representatives. I cannot even reach the person.
No.
I cannot talk to this person. You understand? So, and why I keep on trying not to give up in this Nigeria is, amongst all the states that I've been to in Nigeria, the states that I liked the most were FCT,
Mhm.
Abuja.
Mhm.
Because I went to Abuja and I saw the beauty in diversity. You enter a firm in Abuja. Maybe the first person you meet will dress in Yoruba attire. The next person will wear Isiagu with Igbo. The next person will dress Hausa.
Yeah, indeed.
The beauty is just like a decoration. So after spending a few weeks in Abuja and months, I was like, if Nigeria will actually unify, if Nigeria will actually work together, leave their differences aside, religious and tribal differences, Nigeria will be very, 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 very wonderful.
Yeah.
But these guys, they will be the ones to tell you, vote for your own person.
Yes, it.
Vote for your own deal.
Yeah. Yes.
Vote for your do you want someone from this place to come and rule you? And then he will go to the other person and tell you, do you want someone that is not a Muslim to come and rule you? And come to me, do you want someone that is They don't want us to be fighting. They just want the division so that
we're not focused on them.
Yes, it will blind us. They will do what they are doing. They will be busy fighting each other.
Yeah.
After some time, they will just throw small money to us and we'll just.
You fight each other. You fight each other for over the money. Fight to death for your year money.
Look at what is going on in those states now.
Yeah.
But they are talking about someone who has the capacity to change your state. And you are someone is talking about equity, fairness. This so part of rude. This my part is going should be the one to rule. Someone from certain part of Edo have ruled before. Now there's no way someone from the south will also rule again. That's what they want. That's exactly what they want.
No.
And they will blind you. You will not be looking at the actual person that will make things work for you. You are looking at the one that is your brother, the one that is your these guys, I don't understand, man.
I understand, my brother. The one thing is your optimism and your focus. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me add something. So, we have known the problem. It's how to tackle it. That's the issue.
That is the issue. Yes.
I want to because you said that you have this constitution and all that.
Yes.
I want to make a suggestion. Why not? Let's find someone that will be the person that making a short video. You will bring out just few sections in the constitution. Preferably a lawyer who understands the constitution well.
Yeah.
Make maybe 5 minutes video from time to time. Just read the constitution and interpret it, and then post. People will share. People will share it. After some time, the person will make another for another section.
Yeah.
Before you know it, it will go over the internet. It will go over the social media. Everybody will know about that.
Yeah, I mean it's all a good idea, and it's worth. I welcome that idea, and I mean in fact what I do is I actually talk about that. I do some videos like that. I do small sections. I share it. I do little clips. I say please share, and I want. I mean, plus I welcome. In fact, I need to speak to one or two constitutional experts to join in this discussion and talk to us live. So I'll be doing that as probably one of the next things I'm going to be doing, to bring constitutional experts on. But the problem is that one of the things that we don't want to do, that I want to make sure, is that we have to reach the people on the grassroots in a way they can understand it. That is why having it in our language, that's why translating in our language is so important. Because when they see somebody who's speaking people will they switch off. They just say, I know fit match them. And that is not what we want. We need you to feel that you are capable, that you are ready, you've got everything you need, and it's in your language, and you're ready to go. We have to make sure that people know that they are good enough as they are right now to participate in this process. So, but it's welcome. These are all great suggestions you're bringing, my brother. Honestly, I'm really grateful. And please, anybody who wants to talk on here, I invite you to please join in. Don't hold it back at all. We need your contribution in this. Yoruba Nation now, go ahead, please. Thank you, Goski, my brother. Go ahead.
I was was even going to suggest in the translation, maybe we should hold a speech. So we should, I said speech. We should hold a space.
Yes.
Where you have both an Igbo translator.
That's it.
Someone who is from the extraction.
Exactly.
Someone who is from the Fulani
extraction. Exactly.
Someone who is from the South.
Exactly. That is.
And then
yeah.
in turn, we speak in English. Then we now speak in and also someone that is from the Yoruba extraction.
Exactly.
So that once you have the English read out, then each one will now interpret in their own dialect.
Indeed.
So we can hold that space. We
can
hold it in stages.
Exactly. I'm all for that.
And maybe we can even form a group as to how we now maybe contribute to translate this in different, maybe as PDFs and get it printed out, and then we can then sort of share them out.
Yes.
In different localities, so people can understand. And if that's going to be done, it needs to be done before the election.
Yes. Oh, of course.
People know their rights.
To build it up, we have to build it.
They want to participate in the election, which I actually think they shouldn't. Because what's happening is that the more you're participating, the more you are renewing that constitution. But then it's a catch-22, because if you don't participate, somebody that is from somewhere will probably go in to participate, and then you now have another terrible person. So it's catch-22.
It is.
Damn if you do, and damn if you don't.
I think there is a pathway in between what you just discussed there, and I like to look at it like this. Before we get the constitution, it would be a good idea if the constitutional reform that is partly being that the National Assembly is trying to put in place now, that we the people do not allow them to be the ones who are going to write that constitution again. Because what they're doing is they're saying, oh, they are doing a constitutional review. Suddenly they'll come up with a review without the people actively participating at the grassroots level.
Yeah, but what they're coming up is nonsense. How many people are involved in that constitutional review?
That is exactly what I mean. So we now, in letting the people know about the flaws in the current constitution and say, oh, by the way, look, they are trying to redraft a new one without us. We must participate to, please participate. We want to hear your ideas. So they will now be calling the state, your state house of local government chairman, state house of assembly members, house of reps, senators, governors to meetings and say, look, before you do any review of the constitution, we have things that we want to be included, and you need to listen to us. You have to take our views forward. We need to see it represented, and that means that, again, active participation. So we will now control the process. Well, remember, once we start participating, it is difficult for them to ride roughshod over us. The idea is they don't want us. Okay, somebody's requesting to, let me add them now. Let me add them. Yeah, add a speaker. So they don't want us to contribute or participate in that process. So what we need to do is to be able to, if we can get ahead of the process, whereby we start getting the people to contribute into the review process. Now it means that when the election comes, people are already informed. And because, like you said,
you can see how sick these people are.
Yes.
So the people that are stealing, pilfering, and killing, because that's what they're doing, are the ones that are now reviewing the same constitution.
Exactly. Crazy.
That's a joke.
Crazy. Thank you. Let me just.
They're not serious.
No. But we are serious, and we will continue in this process. But thank you for the suggestions you made. I've written some of them down, and it's something we should look at again. Thank you. Let me bring on CBO speaker. CBO speaker, I see you raise your hand. Please, let's hear from you. Go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon. I have been listening.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I've been here for quite a while.
Oh, thank you.
And I thought I should just chip in one or two things.
Yes, please.
So this kind of conversations actually excite me and actually interest me. But on around this platform, a lot of people have criticized me personally for my views. And one of the things they criticize me for is the fact that I think that regardless of who the president of Nigeria is, whoever is the president of Nigeria, I really don't care. I am more concerned about your local government.
Exactly.
I am more concerned
Yeah.
more concerned about who your state governors are. Right? On these spaces, because people knew me to be a very staunch Tinubu supporter. And they're like, oh no, it's because you want to shield Tinubu or no. I said, no, it has nothing to do with
It's beyond that.
I'll give you a very simple example. If you ask every Nigerian right now, what exactly is the problem? What do you have? What do you think the government can fix? Or what do you think the problem is? People will tell you basic things. They want electricity. They want water. They want good schools.
Yeah.
They want healthcare. They want housing. Now, of all these things, the only one that used to be the exclusive right of the federal government was electricity.
Yep.
Every other thing was in the hands of the local governments and the state governments. As we speak, state governments can actually generate their own power. Distribute their own power. Now, the question is, why are they not doing it? Because all attention is taken away from the state governments.
Yeah.
And pulled to the federal government.
Is that not by design, by the system?
It is not by design, by the system. It is just because that is what works for us as Nigerians. I'll give you another example.
Okay.
You'll see Nigerians that are shouting, oh, we want a better country. Oh, divide this country. Why should this one be getting this and this is not getting that? And then you sit down and you say, okay, look at your state. I heard you when you were reading out the numbers for security votes.
Yes.
And I was smiling. Security votes.
Yes.
What about the ecological funds?
Oh, we'll get to that. Yes.
There's so much money in the state government.
Yeah.
And everybody's focused on the National Assembly. You have state assemblies.
Yes, indeed.
How many bills do they pass? What are they doing? Are they collecting a salary?
Yes.
Are they not collecting all their allowances? People were shouting, oh, the federal government, oh, National Assembly has collected how many jeeps? How many do they collect at state level?
Yeah.
Do you know what is happening in the states?
Exactly.
There's so much rot in the states. And that's why the state governors, when they get there, by the time they are done with 4 years or 8 years, they now have a war chest.
Exactly.
To take on anything. And the best place to take on is to go to the retirement home, which is the National Assembly.
Yeah. But
in the National Assembly, there are 109 senators. The 109 senators, 82 of them are former governors and deputy governors.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right?
It's crazy.
82 of them are former governors
it's
and deputy
crazy.
governors.
I mean, that just tells you. I mean, that figure is shocking. 82 of them, of 109, are former governors. I mean, man.
Former governors and deputy governors. There was a time, not the Senate, not the 10th Senate, the 9th Senate. I was looking at it and I just laughed. There were some states that the former 3 governors were all in the Senate at the same time. Ebonyi, Abia. The former 3 governors were all in the Senate at the same time.
Goodness me.
Osho.
Yeah.
Their former 3 governors were all there. Sokoto. All of them. Just look at it. Let me give you an example. There was a time when Martin Zelechi, Samegu, I can't remember the third guy, were all in the Senate. They're all from Ebonyi. In Abia, Oju Zokalu, Theodore, and Oju Zokalu's deputy, Enina Baribe, were all there. Every state has 3. That's where they get their war chest from.
Yeah, it is.
When you gather that kind of money, there's nobody that you're not accountable for.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
Now the people, and the funny thing is people will get there and say, oh, this APC, this PDP, I laugh. When Buhari's government said he was going to do local government autonomy, these guys went to court.
Yeah.
They didn't just, and when they went to court, they didn't go to court as LP,
No.
PDP,
No.
APC. They went to court as Nigerian governors for all the parties, including Lagos. They sued the shit out of the federal government. Like asking the federal government, why do you want us to have local government autonomy? Now, if you do not understand, for people that don't understand what local governments mean,
Yeah.
local governments
They are, indeed.
When you step out of the road in your house, it's your local government road.
It is. It is.
The reason why healthcare centers are called primary healthcare centers is because it's in charge of the local government.
Exactly.
Primary.
Exactly.
If you have malaria or typhoid today, you will not go to UCH.
No. No.
You will not go to UNTH
No.
for typhoid and malaria. You will go to your local hospital.
Indeed. Indeed.
You will go to your primary healthcare center. Now, what these governors have succeeded in doing is to kill the local system.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right? They have over time killed the local government system.
Yeah.
And made it almost impossible for local governments to function.
Yeah.
And because nobody is asking, what are the state governors doing? Nobody is asking questions.
No.
And everybody will sit down. If you go into the markets today and they tell you, oh, there's inflation. Yes, there's food inflation. And I've been asking questions on the street. Admittedly, there's food inflation. Admittedly, the dollar to naira parity cost a lot of things in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Agreed. Fuel subsidy removal cost a lot of problem in Nigeria. Agreed. But what if I tell you that if the state governments in Nigeria were all working the way they ought to work, inflation, food inflation in particular, inflation, will be brought down in 3 months by at least 10%. I'll give you examples.
Go ahead.
What stops a state like Kogi, whose, if you look at MBS data, is supposed to be the state with the highest prevailing rate of food inflation? And you're wondering, Kogi is the midpoint of Nigeria. 12 states in Nigeria border Kogi. 12 states in Nigeria border Kogi. All the food that comes from the north passes through Kogi, that is going down to the south. Usually because it's the midpoint. They'll stop in Lokoja or they'll stop in Ajakuta or they'll stop somewhere. Right? So what stops a state like Kogi from putting out a storage facility?
Indeed.
Or stops a state like Kogi from saying, okay, listen, we'll invest so much in cold rooms so that all this meat or all this food, all these beans, all this rice that is coming from the north can be stored. Because it is because of the cost of transportation that makes it more difficult and more expensive in the south. So what if they decide to make money off that? Would that not bring down the price of food?
Absolutely. It's all because it's all about the chain. The smoother the chain, the lower the cost. It drives down the cost. It makes perfect sense.
Now, if you drive around Anambra State, for example, there was a time, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, one of my trucks, I decided to just bring all the stickers. I posted it here on Twitter. All the stickers that you need to pay, because people often believe that, oh, Agbero is only in Lagos. There's only Agbero in Lagos. Go and see the Agbero in Onitsha. So one truck, you have at least 28 stickers to move around from one point in Anambra to the end in Anambra. You pay for about 28 stickers. Now, these 28 stickers that you're paying are supposed to be going to the local government, which is not functional, by the way. You will pay for, there's nothing they don't pay for, radio, TV license, blah, 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 license, blah, blah, blah. So in other words, and this was about 2 years ago, you pay roughly about 45,000 naira a year on it for all those stickers. For one truck to be able to move goods and services across Anambra, just Anambra State. If you want to get the one for the entire southeast, I think it's about 75k, but for Anambra it's about 45k. Now, this cost is eventually goes down to the customer, goes down to the average customer.
It must.
Right? They will put it into the food stuff. They will put it down because you're moving food. You bought from Kogi, you're moving it. So what stops the governors from all those states from saying, oh no, we want to subsidize it, take out these fees, don't pay it anymore. Won't the price of food in that state come down?
Of course it will come down. Absolutely, it will come down. It will.
So now you see practical examples why I think, or replicate what Lagos State is doing right now with their agriculture, replicate it across the 36 states in Nigeria. Replicate what Niger State is doing with his farms, replicate it across the 36 states in Nigeria. And then you sit down and you tell me that as an incentive, you bring in processing companies or a year, with conditions attached to it, employ my locals, do this, do that. What stops you from waking up in the morning and getting money, because apparently they have extra money that they're getting from the federal government right now. What stops you from waking up in the morning and saying, okay, I'm going to float a bond, and this bond will be strictly for the civil servants, and from this bonds they have cooperatives, but it's not that. This bonds, civil servants can actually go from this fund, go in and borrow money to buy cars, and pay over, and to buy cars, and maybe you bring in a genie, this Chinese company that is in Lagos today, bring them in and say, okay, we have this your SUVs that are this your small cars that are 4-5 million naira. Let these guys pay over 4 years. Bring in insurance companies, tie it down to that. You create jobs, you create money, create wealth around the states. Isn't it?
Yes, definitely. No. These are all very salient points.
You replicate it around 36 states in Nigeria. But unfortunately, what do we have? We have the governor of the poorest state in Nigeria, Sokoto, going to go and import 2023 Toyota Camry, 2022 Toyota Camry. He imports 150 of them. And they are lying down in Sokoto today. He says he wants to use it to do taxi cabs in Sokoto. They are lying down, they're just parked there. Right? Now imagine the money he used to bring that kind of.
It's a waste. It's a waste right there.
How much they are wasting money on.
Waste. It's a waste.
Your state is the poorest state in terms of.
I mean, I would.
In the country.
On that note, on the note of cars, I would not actually ban importation of any foreign car. We have. I would.
I really don't. If you want to import the cars, go ahead and do it. I don't care. But the thing is, do these guys think? And nobody is asking these people questions.
Yeah. This is why.
Everybody just thinks, everybody just wakes up in the morning and thinks that the problem is one president.
No. It's about local involvement, and that's what I'm about. It's about local involvement. It is.
Exactly. So that makes it such that if these guys at the state level and at the local government level, and you remember I said they have killed the local government.
Of course.
Because a lot of people don't even know who their local government chairman are.
No.
Because they want to control these monies. They want to control these funds. Right? So when they do that, nobody is asking them questions, and then they will now come out. I mean, why on earth? Sorry, I can see people's hands up.
Yeah.
Just give me one.
Yeah, thank you.
But can anybody just tell me why on earth is a state like Bayelsa owing salaries? Why would a state like Bayelsa? Why would a state like Delta?
It's.
And let me give you the reason why I said a state like Bayelsa. Bayelsa has only 8 local governments.
Yes, of course.
Bayelsa, the population of Bayelsa is not even up to the population of the civil service of Lagos.
You see, it's about control.
Why have you not woken up? And people are shouting. You listen to people on Twitter shout, "Oh, minimum wage." Then you say when Buhari increased minimum wage from 18,000 to 33,000, more than 20 states in Nigeria have not even implemented it.
No.
There are some state governors that live in Abuja. Look at. Have you heard of? Ask yourself. Do you know that there's a governor in Taraba?
Yeah, there is, but.
A governor in Taraba exists. Look at a state like Delta State.
Yeah.
Look at how much allocation they get. And when you ask them, what are you doing with so much money? You hear, oh, you see, we built one gutter, we built one road.
And then
they paid the gutter, and we are talking about people that in the 21st century should be talking. If people are shouting about Lagos Red Line, and I ask, do you know that Lagos Red Line, the foundation was laid during COVID, and they completed it in 3 years? So imagine, why can't you move a metro? They say, oh no, Delta does not need a metro rail line. But you can connect actually to the federal line.
Yes.
And have something that is connecting people from Ugeli to Asaba.
Exactly.
To Warri.
Yeah.
That will make cost of transportation cheaper for your people.
Yeah.
If you want to chop money from that, you can chop money from it. But they're not even thinking, and the people are not thinking. All they'll just do is wake up during campaign and tell you, this person that is here is the problem. The president is the problem.
No, I that's what I'm hoping. That's why we need awareness about the constitutional rights of our people in our local languages for people to be able to engage with the process. The people are removed from the process.
I heard you say that about your people and everything.
Yes.
And I smiled. The people that are going to change this constitution are actually they are the state governors.
Yes. But we're not going to leave them alone to do it anymore. We've left them for too long to do it.
People
Yes.
don't really care. They don't care about what those guys discuss in the National Assembly. Wow. That's why an idiot, God forgive me, pardon my that's why an idiot will wake up in the morning, go on BBC Hausa, and it was deliberate. Go on BBC Hausa and tell everybody that, oh no, they did not allocate anything to your state. Oh, they did not give the Northerners anything. Oh, they did not give us anything. And you're speaking in Hausa. And if you understand, by the way, I speak Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa, and I'm proud of it.
Very good. Very good.
You are telling people in Hausa on BBC Hausa that your people have not been, allocations were not given to you.
That's intent to cause real strife and destruction.
People will be upset. You raise people's anger. Then you bring it down to the National Assembly, where the people from the West will now be angry, and they'll say, "Oh no, you want to bring down my person because it's from my place." And then the people from the East will now be like, "Oh, what are you guys doing? You're sharing money, you're not sharing for me." And then the people, you just unnecessary chaos and confusion that people are that with the intent to deceive people. And when they start finding out, they say, "Oh, you're actually one of the people that collected the 500 million naira. You that went to places to go and complain. You are one of those." They said only about 10 of them collected that 500 million. And the person that went on TV and went everywhere to go and complain actually collected it.
You see.
It was just to cause disharmony, just to make people feel upset, just to make people take their minds off what the real issues are.
Let me ask you, my brother. I'm really glad that you made real detailed, explanation about many areas here. I just want to ask one question. How do you think we can solve this problem? Because I can see that the local government is an area that you're quite keen on, and I can see, for me, I believe that's where it starts. How can we actually get this to work?
Citizens' participation.
Okay.
Citizens' participation
Okay.
and mass reorientation. A reorientation of people's mindset. One problem that we've had on political Twitter is when people want to have sane discussions, they turn it into LP, APC, and then they turn it into political discussions. And then you now lose the essence of the discussion. Right? You lose the essence of the discussion.
No.
Fact remains that if the citizens are massively reorientated and there's a mindset change, the fact is, like I jokingly said on the space some months ago, I said on a good day, the most lucrative position in Nigeria should be the local government chairman of Etiosa local government. And people smiled and they asked me why. And I was looking at it and I said, can you see the places that are under Etiosa local government? Imagine you are the local government chairman of that you control Oniru or you control Victoria Island, where all the banks have their headquarters. You are the local government chairman of a place where all the wealth is domiciled. If you want to steal money, that's where you should be stealing money. If you are smart, that's where you will be showing your smartness. But unfortunately, we live in a society where nobody cares about all these things. What we are concerned about is, the president.
But that's where I like the idea of reorientation, and it's something that I'm hoping to. I think that's where we need to focus on, because obviously the pool of people that we need to actually do the things we need to do, they need to be re-educated in their mindset to begin to carry out and practicalize what you just said now. Only for time purposes, my brother, I'm really grateful. I've added you and I'm following you. Let us hear from other people a little bit as well. But thank you so very much. And please don't be a stranger. Join us, and I encourage you. I'd like to hear from you. I'm really grateful for your very salient comments. And I like the idea of reorientation and citizen partnership. Those are things that we can do. Mindset change is another key word. Thank you. Okay, let us hear from, I think, Basho. You haven't spoken, then I'll go to Goski and then Yoruba Nation. Basho, go ahead and let's hear from you quickly. Basho? Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
See, many of the challenges that we are facing boils down to a high level of irresponsibility. But people entrusted with the wealth or the resources of the people. more often than not, it's not like our problems are so difficult or it's something that we cannot surmount or overcome.
Indeed.
It's an issue of where you have people who are not willing to even help their people.
Indeed.
Who don't do anything, they just want to pocket money, and it becomes really heartbreaking when you see that people are suffering from what ordinarily they shouldn't be suffering from.
Indeed.
On several occasions, you look at it that why with a state that has less than 2 million people, as real people now, that has less than 2 million people with so much resources, but they can't even fix common water. Just give people water to drink. And you can't fix it, and nothing gets done, and everything just looks like no hospital, and they don't have good schools, they don't have good clothes, they cannot feed. And we look at it and wonder that what is your responsibility, as in what is the burden that is given to you, what are the level of problems you have to solve, and look at the amount of resources given to you, but you still refuse to do it.
Exactly.
You still refuse to do it. It's almost like the other day I was telling people that, look, I don't really see the need for an organization like the NDDC. And it became a debate between me and the other people, because I told them, I said, see, everything the NDDC does, these are things that ordinarily governors and local government chairmen should be doing.
Yep.
What are they doing with the money? Well, they provide scholarship, they fix one road, they repaired one hospital. Why not? I say, see, what you are doing is carrying responsibility that ordinarily a governor should be carrying and giving it to another person because you do not have confidence that the governor you have can carry that responsibility.
Yep.
Then I wonder, so, okay, all the money that's given to NDDC, how many? Almost 800 billion, 700 billion. Give it to the Niger State government, to the Delta State, the governors from the Niger Delta, and tell them this is your responsibility, do it. But because the people know that you can't give these guys this money, let us carry that responsibility and put it on another person. Because if we are to have hospitals, we shouldn't expect it from these guys. If we are to have good roads, these guys can't give us. If we are to have good schools, water, we are not expecting anything good from these guys.
Indeed.
Let us give that responsibility to another person, and maybe that person will give us. That is the entire, the mindset that I feel brought about that organization you call the NDDC.
Yeah. I think you're on the right lines, and honestly, I agree with you. It's this thing of knowing that a job that should be done ordinarily under the state, they're having to carve it out. So that means that you're having funds going two ways, which is really not helpful. It's actually you're wasting funds right there. And so I agree with you very, very much. Just only for time purposes, what do you think we the people can do right now? It's nothing to do with the government. What do you think we the people can collectively do that right now? Because if we leave it to the government, nothing will change. But we the people can do something. Can you point out anything we can do?
Yes, I can point out one major thing we can do. One, we need to change what it is we demand from people for us to make them our leaders. I'll break it down. You see, more often than not, politics, like I tell people, it is marketing, it is buying and selling. For my market as a politician to sell, people have to buy what I'm giving to them. Do you understand? So, for all over the country, I can beat my chest and tell you that the politicians are doing exactly what their people want. But that might not necessarily be what's good for their people. But for as long as they remain relevant, it is exactly what their people want that the politicians are doing.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
the people change and say, okay, you see this road, if you don't vote, if you don't repair this road before 2027, you are not going to get one vote from this entire community. I can beat my chest and bet anything that before 2027 that road will be fixed. I can give you 100% guarantee. Why? Because politicians want to remain in power. And if the people make it a point of duty that this particular thing is what will determine if you remain in power or not, politicians will beg, borrow, and even steal to ensure that they get that thing done to remain in power. And that's just it.
Okay. No, brilliant.
Schools, people that are not having schools in Bayelsa, or they are not living a good life in Bayelsa, the people of Bayelsa are not complaining. Why? Because they are getting what they want from the government. It might not necessarily be what is good for them, but for as long as they keep getting what the politicians they are giving to them, schools might not necessarily be important to them. Hospitals, if you are sick, you go elsewhere. If you die, that's your problem. But the people there are happy with what they are getting, and that's why they keep, that's why the politicians keep remaining relevant. If it's not an easy thing to rig election, I can guarantee you, it's not an easy thing to even win an election. So for anybody who wins an election, there is something he's giving his people that the people really want. And for as long as what the people are demanding from him is not what is in tandem with development or what brings about prosperity, I can tell you the people will remain where they are.
Yeah.
It might not
So,
necessarily be.
so would you say that it is really important that the people's voices, they actually participate in that process loudly, so that they will be in a position of power that you just stated, where when the politician knows, if I don't do what they want, I'm out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Because it is clear. It is clear that if the people say this is what they want, and I have seen it on several occasions. Now, let me give an example. Look at a state like Abia, for example. With what Alex Oti is doing, I'm not saying it's perfect or anything, but the thing is, the person who is going to be next governor in Abia State cannot do what Theodore Oji and Ikpeazu did and go scot-free. Because the people have demanded something different.
Okay, good.
If you dare act like what Ikpeazu did in 6 months after what Alex Oti has done for them for the next maybe 4 to 8 years, believe you me, in 6 months the whole of Abia will be on fire. Why? Because they know that you are collecting money, and if you don't do what they want you to do, you're going to be in trouble. So that's the thing.
Okay.
For as long as the people are okay, just give me money. If you like, don't do the road. How many people died in accidents? It's not my problem. Just give me money. Just give me. As long as people are behaving like that, politicians will continue to get.
And so that mindset. So in effect, that mindset, we need to encourage the people to change that mindset of that money, short-termism of money, and begin to look at long-term benefits. Okay.
Exactly.
Bashir, thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you. Let's hear from others. Thank you. Very good idea. It's what we're getting from the politicians is what we're asking by doing the same thing. We need to change that mindset. That's what I'm getting. Let's make sure we change that with our mindset. Start within our communities. We must all get involved. Goski, let's hear from you. I've got a few more minutes, and I will hear from Yoruba Nation now, and then we'll probably wrap it up. But go ahead, Goski. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I will just want to make something known. I just want to open our eyes because you must understand that we are trying to do a great job, and we are going against the belief of these elites.
Yes,
These
that's
people
clear.
are suppressing us. These politicians. We are going against them, and they will be trying as much as possible to suppress us, to quench whatever we are planning now. So we should be careful not to bite on the bait. So now, the other speaker, the one that spoke before before Basho now,
Yes.
Something that he's a staunch supporter of
Tinubu.
The ruling party. I don't even want to mention the name.
Okay.
I don't want us to
No.
politics in this.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, why we are here is, first of all, we have to acknowledge the problem within ourselves. We all know that each state will have a problem, and we have to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Then how do we address this? But the guy started mentioning, he said something. People usually think that it's only in Lagos that we have Agolo. That is not. But if you come to Onitsha, distance and so on, he's now making comparison. And this is what these politicians, this is what they want us to do, to deviate from the actual topic and start comparing. This, what about your state? What about this? What about this? He's saying that everything lies on the power of the state government and the local government and so on. Now, when a state government steals money, and after his tenure, who is supposed to go and arrest state governments or police? It's not in EFCC.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Sure, it's EFCC.
Yes.
Have you ever seen EFCC going to arrest and imprison someone that is in the party of the ruling party?
No, that's the real problem, isn't it? I mean, that has got to change. Obviously, that has clearly got to change. That's the real issue. Yes. I mean, the judiciary is compromised as we speak.
Yes, the judiciary. Yes.
Oh, network. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Your line was sort of breaking up. But go ahead. Let's yeah.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Oshomola said some time ago. Oshomola said, join APC and your sins will be forgiven.
Yeah.
He was so confident because of the president. The president was in APC or is in APC. I think that was during Buhari. So we need to change that. We need to start from there. So you cannot just come here and say that everything.
No.
Everything lies on the state government and so on.
No,
You can't come here and start telling us that Lagos is this. Every state does, but is Lagos a conducive place? Is Lagos up to standard? No. So I think someone should not come here and tell us how so state is doing this. Every state has their own wahala.
Yeah, that's true. I think
how to organize these states.
Yeah. Goski, I hear what you're saying. Even though you might, the thing is, when we're having discussions, you will have various things that one might not agree with. But I'm sure you will agree with me. One of the things I said that I really liked was citizen participation, reorientation, and mindset change. So under that, even those who are coming up with that suggestion will be influenced by that as well. So I would like to think that if we focus on just the negative in a way, not to ignore it, please, that doesn't mean to ignore it, but you're right to point it out. But I think the work we need to focus on right now is to make sure that we push the idea of mindset change, the participation and awareness, and even, like you said, reorientation that you mentioned as well, of the people. I think that's where we would really make a big difference, because it's all too often we can list a list of disagreements and areas of feelings. We can spend 2 years doing that in Nigeria. Believe you me, we have plenty. So, but I really appreciate what you're saying, and I think going forward, many of us, when we're talking about things, it will be good to look at what we can bring to the table individually as well as collectively to change things. So, but thank you for those salient points again, Goski. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let us hear from Yoruba Nation now. And then I think I'll probably be wrapping that up. I'll have a break and I might come back on another topic. But Yoruba Nation, now go ahead. Thank you very much once again, Goski. And those of you who've contributed, go ahead. Yoruba Nation, now, you there? Ooh, I'm not sure if she's there. Yoruba Nation, now, are you there? Can you hear me? Yoruba Nation, now. Oh, she may have just stepped away from the phone. I'll leave it for a few minutes. What I want to say in the meantime is please, first of all, I want to thank everybody that's been contributing, and you're welcome to make it to contribute if you do want to talk, contribute to the discussion. If you want to chip in one or two things and suggestions, what we should all be thinking of. I want us to be having a mind of problem solving. Believe you me, every single one of you who are on this broadcast right now, you can solve a problem. If you can take care of a house, if you can go to the shop and come home, if you can go to the market and buy stuff, you are a problem solver. You are a problem solver. You have the solution. What we lack is the confidence in our solutions, particularly in our communities. We need to begin to put trust back in our communities, believing in ourselves. So I believe that every single person who is on this podcast with me right now, with us right now, you have a solution to the problems that we face. And we collectively must continue to push for that solution and come up with suggestions, ideas, join various groups, organizations. One thing I ask everybody to do, if you're a you have to be a member of your local community and actively talking about local issues, your roads, your water, your schools, your bridges. Don't worry about the president. Don't worry about the Senate. Worry about what is happening in your local government area. What can we do to solve that problem? Who can we reach? How can we be ready to be part of groups to call community town hall meetings, to call your local government chairman, state assembly members, House of Reps, senators, governors to meetings and say, look, we want to know the breakdown of the cost of the money you receive on the monthly allocation. What have you spent it on? Show us where you spend the money. We can't see it. We haven't got roads. So it is about actively participating in that process. That is where I firmly believe we need to go. And of course, to be able to do that, we need this key information. The Constitution is not perfect. Please don't get me wrong. But it is the only document that we have right now. Oh, SIO, let me just give you a minute to also to say something. I see you've been raising your hand. SIO, sorry, I didn't pick it up on time. So, but go ahead, SIO, if you want to say something before I go. SIO, you there? I've added you. Sorry, I didn't see the sign that you wanted to speak in time. I was just reading some. SIO, please do speak if you want to chip in. And Yoruba Nation now, you have the chance to speak as well for a few more minutes. So, like I said, what I was saying is, please make sure that within your community, not only yourself. Okay, SIO, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, okay, well, thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much.
I think there's no how you want to put perspectives to these conversations, without actually touching the needed area.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was actually speaking and he was trying to lay some kind of references.
Yes.
But sometimes when we confronted ourselves with the truth,
mm-hmm.
Our intentions and how we feel about when people are speaking the truth,
mm-hmm.
kind of different,
mm-hmm.
to every engagement.
Exactly.
So my point is, it is very common for people to start getting upset
mm-hmm.
when some kind of references is being made,
mm-hmm.
maybe to their own leaning or to
mm-hmm.
their own belief, which is actually given.
Yeah.
Because the speaker, the Goski,
mm-hmm.
was actually kind of pain that somebody was mentioning Lagos, was mentioning other places.
mm-hmm.
And we are talking about security votes in which every state government actually got that money.
Indeed.
So there's no how you want to speak to that.
Yeah.
That will not touch those areas, those states that we see some kind of lack of development,
mm-hmm.
even with the highest of money they are collecting. We will talk about it. By the subsidy removal, we see a dramatic and drastic increment in fact allocation to all states. And the thing is, our way actually been actually immediately based on what we get from the central.
Yeah.
Not exactly what we get from those people.
Exactly.
Who are supposed to be our leader.
Exactly.
Very close to us.
Exactly.
That they know the color of our problem. That they are supposed to actually be the one to cater for those problems into the solutionary manner. So to me, I think it is important for every one of us to start calling our governors.
Yes.
Because
yes.
Because no matter how you want to look at it.
Louder.
We understand the current situations. It's very hard out there. Nobody would dispute the fact that it's very difficult for so many people out there.
Yes.
The cost of goods and services.
Yes.
The food items and all that.
prices actually skyrocket when it comes to cost. Understandable. But these are the things that we need to go to because we've been living a fake life for a very long time.
Exactly.
Subsidizing a lot of unproductivities that has actually led us to where we are at the moment. And the moment we start understanding that fact, we'll get to know that we are all in this together. Whether we postpone this hardship,
Yes.
whether we suspend it, whether we are trying to cushion that the hardship without facing the reality, at the end of the day, we are passing the burden to another generation.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
2000 from 1999, you know, I can't believe that we just started having our, train track, rail track. We started talking about, connectivity, road connectivity within the state, because of our expressway, second Niger bridge. I can't believe we started talking about it in 2024 or 2019, 2015.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we have oil boom, during that 2011, 2012,
Yeah.
2013,
Yeah.
2014,
Yeah.
it was $113 per barrel. And from 2011 to 2012, then 2013, it was 104 cents, $100.04.
Yes.
And we have that oil boom for 4 years consecutively. What have we done? We felt like saving our money
Yeah.
is actually going to be productive because there are a lot of things that we should have channeled those kind of resources to.
Exactly. Exactly.
If we had those infrastructural developments in those times, we would not be where we are.
Indeed.
We know what Sanusi Lamido was crying all about.
Exactly.
During those quiet rooms. We know what Ngozi Iweala was actually talking about.
Yes.
When we are not diversifying.
Yeah. We did not fix the roof when the sun was shining.
Exactly. So the problem we found ourselves in, it is actually projecting. We know this day is going to come, but we are just been postponing it. We know, when our reserve was actually something like 62 billion that time, when Ngozi Iweala she said that they made $32 billion because that was a thing in our country that they said we have surplus, we have too much money.
Exactly.
We don't know what to go with money. Imagine a country that was talking like that, and we cannot even link any infrastructural development.
Exactly. I mean, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's paucity of thinking.
Unless we actually come out and talk and say the truth to ourselves, the problem that we found ourselves in, it is long overdue.
Yes.
It was projected. It was actually, we see it coming, but we were unable to divert that particular,
Independent SIO, let me ask you a question. What is the best way to solve? What do you think is the best thing to do right now to solve our situation? What suggestions do you have? And practical suggestions.
Okay. This is actually what I think and what I feel we should be doing. Number one, you don't expect somebody from other, let's say, you don't expect somebody that is not staying under the same roof with me to understand my problem, to know what I'm going through. So it is better right now. The sharing formula from the federal government is actually getting directly to the state. It's now high time for us to have local government autonomy because they are the closest people. They are
Exactly.
the closest governments or governors
Exactly.
to the people. So let us allow them to operate in their own way. Let us allow them. You could say even now the governors actually had a say to who become local government chairman. If the government of the state is a particular party, it's going to be difficult for other party to actually win chairmanship.
Yeah, exactly.
Very difficult. So there's a lot of anti-party.
Yes.
But when we give that privilege and opportunity for those local government to govern themselves, in a constitutional manner, then we will see drastic change into our rural areas, our local communities, and a lot of things will get to them. So right now, we need local government autonomy. We don't want to have it on paper.
Yes.
To have it
in reality.
That you see it happening. By the time we look at that, you will see that it is actually going to be difficult for people that are that closest manner to us to now say they want to decide I'm not taking corruption away from them.
Yes.
It can happen anyway. But it's actually going to be minimal when people that are corrupt, when people that are stealing money are very close to you. It's very, very easy for you to understand and identify those people. And you can actually wait for them when they are coming for another election for you to vote for them. You can now decide.
Exactly.
These days will stop selling their votes. Because it's only in Nigeria that I see that somebody will go and borrow money, somebody will go and secure a loan because they want to contest for election.
Yes.
In the US, you will see donations.
Yeah.
You will see donations. Even to get a primary ticket, depending on how, because there's actually going to be a target for a particular candidate to get to, a threshold for you to get before you can even qualify to contest for primary. See donations everywhere. Look at Republican, Democrat, there are people that donate funds for them to fund their campaign.
Yeah.
But what do you expect from people that went to bank to collect loan and they are giving you money to vote for them? The first thing they will do when they get to the office is to just make sure that they recover the money they spent.
Of course.
So how do you expect a good governance from such people? These people should actually sit up.
Yeah.
They should sit up and stop selling their votes so that
Good.
once you don't sell your right, you'll be able to have a moral ground to request for what you deserve from your government. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I would just like to add, that's very well said. Stop selling your votes is something we need to do. And to be able to assist our people in doing that, we need them to be aware of their rights. If they are aware of their rights that they can hold people to account, they probably won't sell their votes. And that's why awareness is so important in all of this as well. But you're absolutely right. Stop selling votes. And we need to put that awareness in there to get them to begin to know that you are actually in position of power. And of course, you can hold even your local government chairman and all of the elected officials or appointed officials to account, because you are a sovereign within the constitution. So thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate that. Let us just take one final word from my brother. I don't know if he's still here. Oh, he's off. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I have really thoroughly enjoyed the discussions today. I need to rush off and do something. I'll probably have a break. Look, I'm going to be doing some more discussions on here on X Space, and I'm okay. Yoruba Nation now, are you there? You want to speak before I go? One final word before you go.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
go ahead.
Very, very quickly.
Okay.
I want to say just a few words. Someone said something about people don't care, and the level of discussions is basically about LP. But I want to say it's not that people don't care, it's the way the system has been set up to impoverize everyone within that geographical space.
Yes.
So if they are impoverized, or there's high extreme levels of poverty, people are more interested in how they're going to get their next.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's not that they don't care, it's because
it's the survival mode.
It's survival mode, exactly. Yeah. And the way they have been conditioned. And then also elections in Nigeria, why are they being held outside?
Yeah.
In an open space. See, these are questions that they should ask.
Yes.
Why are you holding your election in an open space? Why are you not holding the elections within a secured, confined area?
Exactly.
Where there's security cameras.
Yes.
Where there's security at the entrance point.
These are questions.
In an open space.
Yeah, these are questions.
These are the kinds of questions, and you can see that the whole thing is just designed.
Yeah. It is. I mean,
it's to subjugate and to allow the people not to have a voice.
Yeah. I think what we could do.
An election outside.
Yeah, that's wrong.
You know that. If it's being held outside.
Yeah.
There's a large possibility of those votes being sabotaged.
Exactly. But that's where.
Somebody coming in, pushing, dislodging those votes.
Yeah. I think one of the things that's where the people need to be part of the process, because they will say they shouldn't even let that vote take place without having a secure place, a room. The people should demand for that collectively.
It should be inside.
Exactly.
Maybe like a hotel. Or
exactly.
Where you have security
security in and out, so you know what's going on. Yes,
Yeah,
it should be.
so
Yeah.
if it's in an enclosed place,
Mm.
there's no way that if the security cameras are there,
Yeah.
it's being
Indeed.
recorded.
Absolutely.
There's no way that you will not be able to identify those that are coming in
And going out.
and sabotaging
Exactly.
the whole system.
Exactly. I think that's a very, very good point that you raised there, and I'm really grateful, because we need to get our people to be thinking when they talk about elections. The first thing is secure location for any of our votes. I'm protecting my votes. We are protecting our votes locally. It has to be in a secure location. It can't be open space, and we need to encourage people to voice that out themselves. To control. By even doing that, you are participating in the process. You're going to be the politicians will find it will not be able to use that opportunity to change things, and all of that. So it's really, really important point you raised there. I only for time purposes, I need to wrap up and go. I thank each and every one of you for your very valuable contributions. I've taken notes of many things that I want to do, and I've got one or two suggestions that I'll be bringing on board. I'm going to try one or two things out on X Space, and please look out for that and join in. We need to put constant awareness in our community to encourage our people to contribute to the process of governance, and by actually asking questions, I need you to understand that you are participating. To ask questions is to participate in your governance. So never be afraid to ask questions of those you elect into office, because to ask questions is you exercising your right as a sovereign to participate in your governance. I need people to really understand that, and it's something that we need to carry across to all our communities. So what's left for me to say now is thank you so very much for each and everyone that's joined this broadcast. We'll be back again later on. And I've followed everybody that I've seen on the broadcast. If I haven't followed you, if I will make sure I follow. I'm checking everybody, because it's an opportunity for us to engage and spread the knowledge and the awareness that we need to do within our community. We have a lot of work to do, and it is a job for all of us to do collectively. No one person can do this. I thank you so very much. You have been listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please share this podcast. What suggestions do you have to improve our governance? What suggestions do you have to ensure that your community will have the roads, the water, the light, the schools, the bridges? What suggestions do you have to ensure that you can hold your governors to account, to make sure that the money meant for security is spent on security? Those are the kind of problem-solving solutions that we want to be putting on our platforms, and we can all share across all our communities. Thanks again to you all. Thank you, Yoruba Nation. Thank you, SIO. Thank you, Usman. Thank you, Bosho. Thank you to everybody who spoke. I'll be seeing you all real soon. Thank you very much, and bye for now. Thank you. Bye for now. Bye. Okay, so those of you who are on YouTube, thank you so very much for listening in. I hope you've found this valuable. We talked about the issue of the state security and the security vote, and that really opened up a lot of ideas. I'm going to have a pause and a break now. I'll be back again for another session, maybe a couple of hours after this, and talk about another subject completely different, maybe, but it's nonetheless more powerful. And do join us in that broadcast. Please share the broadcast. Don't forget, subscribe to Citizen Network on YouTube, hit the notification button, and of course, give us thumbs up. How do you do that? Let me show you how to subscribe. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to Citizen Network, hit the notification button, and of course, give us thumbs up. Help us reach more people. Thank you so very much for taking the time to listen. Share this broadcast. Please, I need you to believe that you have a solution. You have a solution to the problems that we face. You watching me. We all have solutions. Now we need to put the solutions together and make it work for us. We can do this. It is possible. We can do it, and we have self-belief that we can achieve it. We can build nations together. We can build Yoruba Nation, Biafra, Middle Belt, all of that. And we can all be nations within Nigeria if that's what we so desire. If not, to go our separate ways, but we will build, and we ensure that our governors are accountable in all of those nations, or the single nation, depending on what we choose. But please participate in your governance. That is what must happen. You can no longer be bystanders. Thank you so much. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak to truth to power. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, and of course, give us thumbs up. Thank you, and bye.